I'll be honest with you guys. I don't know how anybody could look at what Sony's doing with PC and truly come to the definitive conclusion that, oh yeah, that's not happening. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like
All right, so bingo, here it is. It's happening, guys. I'm telling you right now, Sony is slowly bringing its ecosystem to PC. Ghost of Tsushima's Director's Cut, PC crossplay, and system requirements revealed. Sony is not playing no games. It's going down. Look at this right here. Doesn't this get you excited if you're already on the PC? PlayStation overlay, crossplay, and trophy support, guys. Wow, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. It is happening. Now, if you haven't played any PlayStation games yet on PC, they are insane. The company that ports them is this group. They are the best. PlayStation games on PC run at 4K 60 FPS if you've got a good rig. A lot of times the HDR, the graphics, I mean, it is insane. I love my PlayStation 5, but the PS5 games on PC, extra incredible. But inside the text here, they're like, oh yeah, by the way, we're dropping a bunch of new, completely added features to PlayStation games on PC. Now, this includes friends list, trophy support, new settings, new profile, in-game voice chat, and all of this can be accessed by just pressing F1, Shift F1. Now, when you see this, I must admit, it's completely shocking to see straight up. This is just the standard PlayStation UI running on the PC natively. Now, to me, a cool part of this is, as a trophy hunter, a lot of people are straight up saying, hell yeah, trophy support. Where's that sequel? Everybody's great. But here's the other part of it that to me is kind of eye-catching, which is they're talking about the fact that it's going to have in-game voice chat and cross-play. Like, it actually straight up says here, there's going to be cross-play, meaning that when people do this, you sign in with your existing PlayStation account or create one, and then the way it's going to work is that now whenever you're playing these games, it'll make it so that PlayStation games can play multiplayer with any of the other platforms. If they ever start to put all PlayStation games day and date on PC, with trophy support, with friends list, with full crossplay, I might go full PC. I mean, I love PlayStation games because of their stories, their quality, their polish, but if I can have that on my PC, which objectively has better graphics than my PS5, I'm probably going to take it.
They have all failed you.
The following is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
We already talked about that. Why?
Uh-oh. What up?
What up? We already talked about that. Get out of here, man. Get out of here trying to get into some of this action. Get out of here, man. Yo, Jamal Murray, buzzer beater on them Lakers last night. But no, Shout out to all my Laker fans.
Man, why you don't like the Lakers, man? Yeah,
shout out to all my Laker fans out there. I was just gonna say that. Shout out to all my Laker fans.
Look, man, the Lakers could lose and LeBron James still the GOAT.
Facts. Listen, it's not over. You got 2 more games, man. Get those 2 games won at home, and then y'all can come back out of y'all's closets, man. But right now, stay in y'all's closet, man. But I understand, man. Y'all cry later, man. Cry later. Listen. I got my man Realist in the building. I got my man Crazy Lou. And TJ Drawn should be coming in here later on as a special guest. Thanks for being here, Crazy Lou, representing the Xbox International Podcast. Shout out to Six Slayer in the building. I've been holding my labs on his comments. He came in clowning, man. He's bringing all that energy, just clowning. I got the other Zinc in the building, as usual. My Root Gamer. Hopefully we get to complete our Root Gamers up in here. Oh, we got Mr. Keem in the building, another Root Gamer, another strong one of our Godfather supporters in the Xbox community for many years. Nothing but salute to Mr. Kima, and that's just created a Texas connection, Realist, from Dallas to Arlington to all the way to Houston, man. We just did a triangle, so you know when that happens, I got to give a shout out. If y'all like what we're about, y'all already know where I'm going with this. This is an Xbox show. This is an Xbox channel. We are Xbox fans. By no means does that limit us to our gaming. But we're true speakers. We're true sayers. We're not here to confuse anyone. You don't come to Di-RRec Gaming thinking that we're not representing that green X. Oh, no. And we stand tall. We stand tall in the Xbox community because before all of this social media stuff, we were already doing this stuff. It's not like this stuff just started because all of a sudden social media was created. No. It's been out here. The culture of gamers been out here all the way from the competing of the console wars, all the way from swapping your games from house to house, all the great commercials, so forth and so on, all the great gaming magazines, and then all the telephone calls, all the school get-togethers outside, just community talks in general as youngins all the way up to adults. It's the gaming community. It's what we do. What we're not about, spreading false rumors, speaking on deaths of consoles. We don't call people names just because they like to play on a different console or play different games than us. You're not getting picked on because you have a different opinion than me. None of that goofy stuff. We're not here to attack family members and all of that other silly stuff. But when you come to social media, you know what you signed up for. So if you're not with all that riffraff, I suggest you don't partake in it. If you're just about gaming, then do that. There's plenty of people on your console that you can get involved with and have a good time. You don't have to feel like you got to be on social media to do that. Plenty of people. Di-RRec Gaming was built off of that. It wasn't built off of the Twitter stuff that you see, the YouTube stuff that you see. It came from Xbox, from Mixer. Then it derived over to YouTube. Because I had created a fan base. I created friendships. I wouldn't have met Crazy Lou Gaming. I wouldn't have known about the Xbox International Podcast. My man Realist been supporting me. I wouldn't have known him in the comment sections if I didn't take time to go and read people's comments sometimes. That's how I met him. So you continue to grow. You continue to do this out of passion. This isn't something that we just feel like we have to do. It's just a passion that we love to do, that we like to do. We like to get together and we like to talk about games. Now, if you don't like Xbox, this isn't the show for you. But if you like what we're about, please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Leave some comments below. As long as you're not out of pocket, we're flying high like rockets. I go by the name of the new legal, the realest one, Crazy Lou Gaming, the Chit Chat community. Y'all see it. Xbox is in excellent form to expand gaming in 2024. It hasn't looked this good in a long time. We're seeing a lot of connections go. We see a lot of great things overseas that's happening. We're getting shows, games of all across the board is being talked about. And it's like, yo, the diversity that's going on in Xbox right now is on a high. You can't stop it right now. Hey, one of the craziest things I saw today that blew my mind away was the marketing for the Xbox 97, man. They're doing customable Xbox controllers with the X-Men themes on them for the characters. And you can get them right now, and you can design them from the design lab or go in there. I think they already got them already laid out for you, and you can select them and buy them. But that Xbox Series X that has the comic books, the comics sketched on it, where it looks like actual pages of comics all wrapped around it, man. It's so dope, man. I love how Microsoft is seizing the moment, and I don't think they should let go. They're pacing themselves very well. We know that Hellblade 2 is next month. That's the beginning of everything. That Unreal Engine 5 is going to be released on so many games. It's going to be ridiculous. And I think the Xbox community as a whole, whether you have been rocking with Xbox for the 20 years or 10 or 5 or just started, I think Game Pass is doing one hell of a job as a service. People want to play games. They're curious about Xbox games. They know outside of Call of Duty, right? Outside of your 2Ks and your FIFAs and your Maddens, there's a big gaming community on console out there in the world, and people been knowing this for over 23 years, right? And it's the Xbox community, man. It's just something about that Xbox community where our games, we're the kings of multiplayers. In the console world, Xbox is the console king for multiplayer games. Our multiplayer games just rule. We keep going. We don't know how to stop. And for that, man, it's paying off. Yeah, it's been a long journey, and we'll talk about some of that. But we're more interested in what's been transpiring here in the last week or so. So it's just good to be back. It's good to be in motion. It's good to see Xbox doing good things, and it's good to see the community hyped up again. So with no further ado, I got 3 mics for my fellow gentlemen right here. I know Crazy Lou is ready. He done got the cooking. I know he's ready. Realist is going to be bringing some insight. He was talking to me one day, and I told him, man, listen, you're going to have to do a show. You're going to have to drop this bomb, man, because I don't think nobody's paying attention to this. So I can't wait to see him rock with that mic. And then my man, one of the other strongest supporters in this gaming industry that goes unnoticed in the gaming industry down here in these streets. Like, no, I said it, in the streets. My man, John TJ, one of the strongest supporters out here, man. I mean, this guy's been on everybody's shows, just supporting his butt off, man, doing what he's got to do. And it's an honor to have him here. It's an honor that he sees fit that Di-RRec Gaming and shows like Xbox International Podcasts and others, where he feels, to his opinion, that we are keeping it real for him and that we're speaking the truth. So with all the support he's been shown to me, you know what I'm saying? I feel like he has a seat anytime he wants to. He represents the streets to a great cause, and we're happy to always have you, man. And like I said, he's starting out already. So please, everyone, please hit the like button. I see my girl Dia 4568 in the building. My homegirl right here. She's been putting in a lot of support on Di-RRec Gaming, and she knows I ain't got nothing but love for her. She knows she be doing her thing over there with my man Unlimited Production One, another partner of mine that's been out here, another Texas connection out here, doing that good work out there, telling that truth. To all my truth speakers out there, to all my people out there that's just representing gaming as a culture, man, number double salute. And let's get to it, y'all. Lou, let's kick this thing off, man. Let's go.
Oh, man, what a great time to be a gamer, fam. What a great time to be a gamer, especially an Xbox gamer. Always great. Look at all this stuff that's happening. I mean, famo, look at this news that has happened. When was it? A couple days ago, last week? Wow. So we all know something that Xbox has lost the console war. Yes, we all know that. But guess where it's winning, famo? Guess where it's winning? And that's
On PlayStation.
not only on PlayStation, man, it's winning on that software war, man. That's where it's got to win. That's where the money is made. Software and services. That's the key to the future. And Xbox is now showing it by how Realist said it over there on PlayStation. And man, Realist, I remember a couple years ago, everybody was saying, we don't want those games over there. Why? They're not great games. They're not that good. But man, it's kind of funny. Those people who actually said it thought that there was going to be a whole army behind them thinking like them. Sad. That wasn't true. Because look how many people are buying that game. Look how many people are enjoying that game because
they're desperate.
Look at that. No, TJ. No, TJ. Because listen, TJ. It's not because they're desperate. Not because of that. Because behind those people out there that say that we don't want those games, there's people who actually sit down and play the game instead of going what they do on social media and say we don't want this game. Yeah, the other people
they got a suck account. They got a backup account. They play the game secretly so they don't get caught by us.
I think they play. CJ, let's be honest. They played that game already a long time ago. They got an Xbox.
I know.
They got an Xbox right there to play the game, or they either do it on PC.
They lied to themselves.
They lied to themselves, man. They're like, yeah, we don't want this. But the funny thing is, TJ, there's a back full of people back there who actually want to buy the game, who want to play a game to have fun. Especially, look at that. I remember this beautiful thing the Sea of Thieves posted over there on Twitter, and they showed us right there. Look how many PlayStation players were asking, when are you guys going to bring Sea of Thieves over here? When is it coming? When is it coming? I remember all those messages just popping up, just filling up the screen.
Look how many people pre-ordered,
asking for that game. And look how many people pre-ordered. Yes, even the beta is crashing. That's so many people playing this game. And
I thought that was fake, Louis.
You thought that was fake?
Yeah, they said that was AI. Those weren't real people that wanted to play the game.
Oh, they said that was AI? Oh, now wait a minute. Now this gets interesting. So you're telling me then that all those PS5 that have been sold, it was AI that bought them?
That's what they said, man. Hey, we're talking about
a lot of
social media.
scalpers bought them.
I know a lot of scalpers bought them, TJ. I know that for a fact. Even on the Xbox side of things, we know also a lot of scalpers buying them, but it's not that. Is AI actually playing the game over there on PlayStation? Like literally, is Arnold Schwarzenegger actually making Terminators back there? You know, we don't know about. Well, damn. I would like one. I would pre-order a real one, and that's true. I mean, I would like a Terminator to have my back and say, "Oh, it'll be back." Of course, I would love that. What the hell not? Man, seriously, they said it was AI doing that. Realist,
bro. You know the ponies will figure out a way. Yeah, they said it was fake.
They're
look at the comments. They don't even look real. It's like, dude, you think they're gonna really say exactly who said what?
They don't ever say the damn truth. Realist knows what I'm talking about. They don't ever say the damn truth. Like, did you guys see my post earlier today? How I pissed off a lot of people, and then a lot of people liked it too. I said,
what was it about?
Sony can't afford a Paramount because there's an article saying that on VGC 24/7 or whatever, they're saying that Sony's big acquisition or next acquisition in talks is to buy Paramount TV. And I laughed so hard because they're worth $8.7 billion. You got to remember, they already bought Bungie for 3.7, and how's that doing for them? Oh, that's right. Dumpster fire. So,
on credit.
Yeah.
But check it out, John TJ. They're not doing it by themselves. So it's possible. But that partner, you think that partner wants to maximize or they want to make the most money as they can? Because a lot of PlayStation fans, they think the acquisition is going to mean a lot of exclusive content with this new IP. But I don't see that happening either.
I just don't see them pulling it off. They would need multiple partners because I don't think they got capital.
But they got one. I
Well,
forgot the name of it. I never heard of it.
yeah, but I heard they got shot down already. They got shot down by Paramount, didn't they?
I don't think it got shot down.
It ain't got shot down. It was never something that they said. They're talking for Sony.
Yeah.
Well, see, the thing is,
said.
Once this type
A
of
lot
stuff
of
gets
people
out,
went after me on Twitter about that shit, and I told them, I said, Sony's got to figure out their own shit right now. They lost $10 billion in market cap value. They spent $3.7 billion on a studio that basically does nothing, and Destiny's dying. And then you got also the gamer lawsuits, which are the refund lawsuit against them right now. You've got also no first-party games coming out this year. It's looking really bad. PS5 is trailing behind the PS4 in sales, which looks even worse. So it just makes it look like, is there going to be a next gen for PlayStation? Because I don't know, man. It looks pretty damn bad as a consumer. It just looks bad.
Wait a minute. What did you just say? The what now?
Which part?
You talk too much, but yeah,
PS5 is trailing behind PS4 sales in terms of how many times it's been out.
But wait, isn't that fake though? Isn't AI buying PS5s though? I mean, that can happen. If AI is buying PS5, that can't be true, man. You got AI buying PS5. We got Skynet or pre-ordering them all the way. You know, getting them, just play them, play video games.
Those purchase bots.
Oh, the purchase bots.
Look, we need Sony, because without Sony, Microsoft they could be really complacent, first of all. Second of all, you need competition at the end of the day. Regardless if it's not really competition, you do need some competition, because you don't want someone just creating another Call of Duty and then saying that's it. And then you don't get any more projects in the future.
But check it out.
I mean, under Phil, we're good, but the next CEO, we don't know, man. I'm just saying.
I got a question, though. This is a smart question, though. Instead of investing in movies, why don't they go invest in technology? Because they need to do some advancements in technology.
Technology costs more money.
Yes.
And you can always outsource that. But John TJ, the problem I have with people saying Xbox could become complacent without Sony is that Xbox is fully invested in their service. There's no service out there that I'm concerned with. Let me finish. There's no service out there that I'm concerned with that they're going to have a shortage of content, right? Because if you look at all these cable companies, they're formerly just cable companies, and once they decided to go full subscription, like outside of just cable, some of them started putting movies into the service sooner. It's always gotten better. So I'm not concerned about Xbox ever becoming complacent as long as they're committed to their service. Because for a service to flourish and not have to deal with churn, they're going to have to always bring new and good content, compelling content, not just content. Because if you notice, they've already started complaining that the deals for AA games and indie games have been drying up. So they let you know that they're predicating the service more on more compelling content, not quality. I don't like the word quality because it's been bastardized in this gaming community. But they're gonna have to start. Because quality to me is a good game, and then quality is always coming from PlayStation fans, and they think it means pretty graphics and watching your games. But
a game is always quality.
Well, some of them. I ain't gonna lie. I bought some duds, but I'm not concerned about Xbox ever becoming complacent as long as they are as committed to their service as they've been proven that they are. So that's the only thing that I disagree with. But I don't need PlayStation. We don't need PlayStation. Let them go the way of Sega, the way that PlayStation fans are hoping that Xbox.
I want them to go the way of Sega. I would love that, because honestly, they could still make games and compete that way. They don't need to do the console thing, to be honest. Honestly, they'd make a shit ton more money if they went third party. Shit, if you do the math, get rid of the R&D, and you basically let everybody else like have access to your games. It just prints money. It's just common sense.
You know what's wrong, TJ? You know what's funny about what you just said? Because even though I know Lume is wondering, I don't know, but here, I'm not even trying to be funny right now.
Sony's hurting right now.
The fact that they're not even buying their games, what other option do they have?
They don't have any first party games this year. Stellar
No,
Blade
no,
is
no.
third
I'm talking
party.
about. I'm talking
technically.
about. I'm talking about TJ. What other option do they have to get people to buy their games?
Buy
I don't know, to be honest. I
buy?
don't know. It's very tough to even imagine that. The fact that we cannot come up we can, because we already see the writing on the wall, all of us. Me, you, Louis Realist, and you. We all see the writing on the wall. I mean, at the end of the day, they're gonna have to port everything day one to PC. They're gonna have to port it to Xbox eventually. I don't know if it's like right away, a year, 2 years, but they are gonna have to get more money if they're gonna keep making these single player games. And they kind of screwed up by making their single player studios now making live service and now canceling those live service games. You just wasted 7 years of development time, because now you got to go back to the drawing board and somehow make a single player game after starting a live service game. Good luck with that. You just wasted a shit ton of money and you just wasted a shit ton of time. I'm sorry, but that is the dumbest move ever. You should have just shipped the damn games out and at least gotten some money out of it instead of freaking sitting there now.
But
You know what?
TJ,
They're
the
screwed.
thing is, TJ, the thing is that-
That's why Jim Ryan, they got it retired. Jim Ryan was retired.
Yep.
But see,
I
here's
mean,
the thing. Here's the thing.
But here's the thing, though, TJ. I mean, let's put fanboys aside and everything, because
Real
listen,
quick, before you keep your thought, because this ain't gonna be long.
Okay.
This gonna be quick. I just want to tell TJ this: don't underestimate the flip flopping of PlayStation's fan. Okay, so you're saying things.
Oh, I know.
That will ultimately crush that brand, because they don't want their games anywhere. They think their games are special. They think their games should only be played by them. So what they've done, right? Because I already knew this was going to happen, right? In just due time, people, because life changes with people. Right? I mean, not life changes. People change with life. We grow up, we get into relationships, or we get married, or we go to school, or we get a new job. We have to move somewhere, or all kinds of things happen, right? So changes occur in people's lives. So when they were, you subtract 15 to 17 to 18 years off of some of these clowns, right? They were either in their 20s or teenagers, right? And they were yapping all of this little immature stuff, right? But when they grew up and priorities, life taught them priorities, right? Me knowing that this would happen, that they could not obtain these dumbass narratives, right? So when you pay attention to what's being said from people in the industry, hold that thought, Crazy Luke. People in that industry who are telling us, right, that in the near future, the game development the cost is gonna rise up. Technology is abound. Big tech companies are about to shoot through the roof. Now, when this happens, the big tech companies will be able to do this with a blink of their eye. But smaller companies that don't make the money that they make, they're going to have to compete on that level. See, it's not like Sony has to compete with Xbox and Nintendo. That's not the competition now. I've been telling everybody, the competition is your wallet, your bank. Your bag is your own competition. Your wallet and now, TJ, how you survive is how your fan base. Notice, Crazy Lou, because I'm gonna let Crazy Lou go wild right quick. Notice how everybody called us fanboys. Notice how they call Legal an Xbox fanboy. Well, guess what?
No, you're not a fanboy. You're a gamer. There's a big difference. I hate it when people say that about you.
I don't care. Listen, Drawn TJ, guess what? I buy Xbox games. I buy the services. Look, Drawn TJ, I'm not a problem to Xbox. They can call me whatever. But guess what? They don't have to worry about my crazy butt doing. Not buying into whatever they say. They don't worry about people like me, Drawn TJ. They're worried about that PlayStation fan that won't never touch an Xbox because he's been brainwashed.
Apparently won't touch an Xbox.
Won't touch an Xbox, won't play its games, right? Because they've been brainwashed to think, oh, I'll be doing a terrible act if I invest or buy an Xbox and play or subscribe to gaming. I'm a trader and all this other stuff. See, they've been told these things. How do we know? We've been out here in these streets way longer than social media. I remember those dudes when they first stepped on the scene back in 1996. That 1996 to 2000 crew were unbelievable. I mean, they were like juggernauts. They didn't care what lived, what survived. If as long as it wasn't PlayStation, they could care less. And now they're grown acting that way, Drawn TJ, and their time has ran out. So you see all these grown crybabies now. That's what it is, because they didn't ever want to believe that realistically companies get a good 20 to 25-year run, and then it's time. And other companies emerge and they do something better. That's just the way it happens. The key is you ride the surf, you get innovative, and then you come back up to the surface again. Take it over, crazy.
Like I was telling you earlier, TJ, because let's get the fanboys aside. Let's leave all fanboyism and everything aside, right? John, Dominican Republic. I'll give you an example of my culture. Dominican Republic, right? Grew up, Nintendo was a thing. It was Nintendo. I had a PlayStation 1. I had a Sega Genesis. It was still called Nintendo. It was still, my parents called it Nintendo. Oh, the Nintendo. Oh yeah, get the Nintendo off. And I was playing on my Sega. I was like, Mom, that's a Sega. I say, what the hell is a Sega? I know what is a Nintendo. I don't give a damn about a Sega. That's what you used to say. Same thing with the PlayStation. Get that Nintendo off, right? Later on throughout the years, we saw PlayStation took kick butt, took over PS2. Everything moved around. I mean, I'm telling you from my perspective here in Dominican. Talk about from what happens in the country, right? So here, gaming is a PlayStation. For them, it's a PlayStation. They think PlayStation has all the games. That's something that's culture here in Dominican Republic. Like they talk about it like, oh, PlayStation has all the games. When I go in there, there's no marketing here on PlayStation. There's nothing. I mean, literally, there is no, man. I mean, there's no marketing for. I wish we had more marketing for video games. I wish we did. I mean, that would be a bomb that I could run down the street and see Xbox back there, with Call of Duty. I mean, that would be freaking awesome. I wish they did that. I wish that would be something so cool if it happened, because there's so much people here that develop and stuff like that will actually get in touch with that company. I mean, I wish that actually happened. But like I said, only the people that game knows what's going on, right?
Dia, I'm going to land on that subject real quick, Lou. You know me. Dia, just hold on to that right there, because I'm coming.
Yeah, we're going over there. It's going to be a fun subject. But yeah, the thing is, TJ, right? These fanboys that we see out here on Twitter, these guys that are just stuck with that idea, like Legal was saying it, like, oh my God, yes, you're just going to play on
stuck
here.
In their old ways.
Look at this. They're just stuck in old ways. Me and Legal were talking earlier, and I told him about this. I got a 3080 PC right here. 3080 PC. I have my Xbox. What do I like to prefer to play? I like to play on my console. Why? Because I like to play on my console. I'm a console type of guy. I grew up being a console person. Now, some people get adjusted with the Switch. I'm happy for them that they did. I'm happy with them that if they got adjusted to the Switch, that's good. Because at the end of the day, TJ, this market is changing. The only one that actually has a market, and it's been having it locked down for years, and nobody can change that no matter what, unless if they do something stupid like that Nintendo Wii U, is Nintendo. Nintendo is the only one who has that market locked down because of the personalities they have made, of the video game characters they have made, and all that stuff they have done around the world.
Not just that, but
Mario is more important than Mickey Mouse right now. And it's been important for
definitely.
It's super important. I mean, look, Nintendo has theme parks, Nintendo has backpacks, Nintendo has lunch packs, Nintendo has everything. Everything.
Yep, they got Pokemon also.
They got Pokemon also. I mean, dude, they know how to do the thing, and they've done the thing. Now you got PlayStation that came in here, right? And PlayStation tried to compete against Nintendo, but listen, they just couldn't go and compete. What did they have to do? What they're doing now, because Microsoft, last generation, they took a decision, which is the right way, and decided, hey, let's do this Play Anywhere thing. Do you remember the Play Anywhere thing?
Oh, I love it. It's nice.
The Play
You don't have
Anywhere
to double
thing.
dip.
You had an Xbox game on, you had Gears of War here, but you can download your Gears of War on PC and just play anywhere you want. And now, and after that, they started with the services.
Over too.
They started with the services because how legal said it, how legal called it, and it's the truth. It gets to a point where you start to budget. You start to budget. That's the thing. You're going to start to budget because once you grow up, because listen, I remember when the Xbox One came out, TJ, I had a run of buying almost every single game that came out. And you know what happened? I had games that never even, they had the plastic on the box. I never opened them. I just had to say, I'll get to it later. But another game came out. Yep, that happened to me. I just went and bought the other one. But at the end of the day,
I only bought the ones I liked. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was playing everything. It was like, oh man, I'm gonna play everything I can. You know, I got the money. Let me go shopping, buying everything. Got to a point where I just had like 5 or 6 boxes without unboxing them. And then I got to a point. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna buy what I like, and that's what I started doing. I just started to buy what I like, and now it's got to the point because okay, you get married, you got bills to pay, you got stuff to pay. Now you got to really go and buy what you really like and say, okay, 2 games come out this month that I really like. Let me just wait till this one goes on discount. Let me wait for this to do this. And guess what, TJ? These PS fans, right? When this generation started, which is something I was just laughing. They were telling me 70 means quality. I remember that subject. 70 means quality.
Are you sure it means quality? Because I've seen a lot of games come.
Wait a minute. 70 means quality. I remember that saying 70 means quality. I said, I would like to see them do in a couple of years, see if they can actually buy that quality.
Hey,
CJ?
Pause real quick on that, Lou. So I guess Helldivers 2 is in quality. Keep going.
Uh-oh.
This is why I love New Legal.
Oh, man. But listen. They said it's quality. But you know what, TJ? The real fans about a game, look how much the game sells. You sit down, you look at the numbers because I love how PlayStation pulls those numbers out because they want to always say, hey, we sold this much. But when you sit down and you actually do the research, and I mean, if you're that smart guy and do the research, right? Like I did with Last of Us, like I did with Spider-Man, the first game. And I even told this to New Legal. I mean, the other day, TJ, can you believe that? I'm not a PlayStation guy, but I play Spider-Man. Yeah. TJ, when I sat down, I said, let me look for something. I looked for the PS4 numbers because, now they got trophies for the PS4. Now they got trophies for the PS5. Now they got trophies for the grandmammy, their daddy, and everybody else. They got trophies for everything now, right? So I went on my PS5 and I looked for Spider-Man for just the PlayStation 4 version. 2019, I think it was, or 2020. I remember I saw that it sold 20 million copies. TJ, believe me, when I look at that trophy, which is complete, the third act, that's the final. That's when you complete the whole game. Not the platinum. No, just that trophy. Only 49% of them beat that game. So the 20 million Spider-Mans that are out there,
so only 10 million actually played it. The other 10 million really bundled with the damn console.
9 million. Nobody's playing. I mean, that's the thing. What's up?
You want to know something, Lou? This $70 has become a curse to them.
Exactly.
My man Dolan, and I ain't forgot to do. I'm gonna. What you said, I'm gonna get that. That's I'm gonna have fun with that.
No, Dolan. I'm getting to that, and we're getting to that.
But look. Why aren't they buying that Final Fantasy VII Afterbirth? Let's do it. I just saw that. Let's do the revisit. I call it the revisit, right? But look, let's go down the line.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy Rebirth, $70. Flop.
Oh yeah,
it's up Ronin, $70. Flop.
360 game. Yep.
Now I'm looking at Stellar Blade, and I'm saying to myself, oh man, I'm starting to think $70 is just become a curse because I don't see Stellar Blade as, listen, when we think of $70 games, right? We're thinking high dollar AAA budget, top budget type games. We're paying $70 for them.
Exactly.
Stellar Blade don't look like
a
that.
lot of people
Rise of the
don't have
Ronin
money
look
in this
like that.
economy to pay $70.
And Final Fantasy VII definitely doesn't look like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, in all fairness,
Yeah.
I don't think my opinion, I don't think none of those games should have been $70, but we understand why they are.
Oh, 40.
Sony's tight in the wallet. We get it. They got a nickel and dime everything. Everything they do is nickel and dime. And listen, if you want to be that type of fan that likes to be nickel and dime, hey, listen, that's your prerogative. But don't get mad at us for pointing out what's clear. That's just clear. None of those. So my thing is this. I put up a post on Twitter to say, listen, Stellar Blade is going to be $70. You think that's going to be as big as issue? Because we got our track record right here. We got the paper trail saying that $70 isn't a positive thing. Now, any game that's under $70, if it's $39, it's the golden spot. Hint. Look at Sea of Thieves.
Yep.
30-some. Look at that. Most highest pre-order game. Helldivers 2. $39.90. But you know what that is?
That's mostly on Steam.
I'm cooking. You know what's funny about that number? That's usually the sale number. That's usually the bargain bin price.
Exactly.
So all these years, realists, all these years, Lou, all these years, Drawn TJ, all these years, Chit Chat, we brought up that bargain bin. And it's between the sweet spot is $29.99 or $39.99. We've been saying this. So when it actually came out to be true that these are the liars, right? I think donkeys, they don't even know when they're lying. They're habitual liars. They lie straight to the teeth, and they're cocked out in eyes. They lie thinking they're telling the truth about something. Look, you guys preached a false doctrine. Y'all set up here and said that $70, we out here to support the devs. We're all about supporting the devs. We found out y'all
don't forget, Legal. Remember, they said they'd be willing to pay more than fucking $70.
Oh, Drawn, don't do them like that. Right. Drawn, they just said, right. Go ahead, Ray.
I was just gonna say that's true, right? Like these companies, they know that there's always a contingent of people. They could have raised the price to $99, right? Just like this game, the Star Wars game that's coming out, right? $130. People are complaining, but then you have a smaller group of people that are excited to pay that price. Right, the need to be first. Remember, PlayStation wanted to raise the prices to $90. Then it went down to $80. Then they settled because Activision, EA, Take-Two said, "Now let's just do $70."
Look, realist, you said something that's perfectly fine. You know, that's why you gotta have realist. You gotta have a guy like realist. You know, you gotta have a guy like realist in the corner. Realist is that guy when I'm out there boxing in the middle of the ring, sit back down. Realist is the guy that tells me why I wasn't hitting, throwing my punches right. I got to strike over here on this angle and strike over on this angle because you need somebody like that. Now, see, realist,
he's got the missing pieces of the information.
Let's talk in proper perspective, right? If you're gonna raise a price on a game, right, realist, and you know it's a big famous title game, right, realist, and you're a businessman, and you're saying, you know what, for all the diehards who want to play it early. You got to pay $99.99. Nobody's gonna fuss about that because the $9.99, the $99.99 has a purpose, right? The purpose to that gamer is what? I get to play this game 5 days early. So that has a purpose. But that's not the price of the game. We know that when we got the base price, so we got the Alpha Deluxe, so we got the
don't forget the taxes, don't forget the add-ons.
Right.
Yep. The expansions, everything else. Because they bundle the expansions with it, but then they have even more expansions. Forza's done that before too. They've added more DLCs afterwards, even though you
and then they'll just slap the standard edition, right? They'll slap it, and the standard edition is always the cheapest. So, but that's the game. That's just the game, and you got it. So we're not talking about that because Willis made a good point. Listen, if I really like it, because I've been a victim of that, right? Let that Gears of War.
As long as let me be real. Let me be real.
Let me be real. let that Gears of War 6 come out, and you realize already on, and they say, oh, you get to play it 5 days early for 115.
Oh hell yeah! I'll do it for Gears.
I'm already bought it. I've already
Halo.
bought it.
Yeah.
I didn't have to get to the end of that sentence. I already done pre-ordered it. You know, because why? Because I'm a Gears of War fan. I want to play that game.
Well, not just
early.
that, but you know it's going to be good too. That's why.
Right. And then, of course. Then I know it's blockbuster, right?
They got a good track record. Yeah.
Exactly. So the price has proven itself, and that goes to prove what Riz was saying. This is a big Star Wars game. The name Star Wars is why that bad boy's up there.
Star Wars is good, but at the end of the day, it depends on the damn studio and what kind of ideas they got for it.
Facts, because not all Star Wars games have been galactic.
Some have been shit, some have been good, and some have been kind of mid-tier.
Hey, look, all that's fine and dandy, man, but I don't know if y'all read the Insomniac leaks, man. The mouse gotta eat, man. All right? The mouse is gonna eat.
Oh, yeah, that's realistic.
So when you look at these, when you look at the prices of some of these things, you gotta look at how many people eating off the plate.
Facts.
But look, I'm with y'all, man. But $70 is not a quality marker, man, because I just saw a game. It's a THQ game. It looks fun, but it don't look like $70. And it seems like more and more of these games are trying their hands. If you look at it, some of the AA games that were $40 last generation,
some of the indie games are
coming out at $60. But as far as sales, the indie games are selling for less.
Oh yeah,
right? But I'm talking about games. I'm looking at a game like was it Evil West? Evil West, right? Look at Evil West. That's not a $60 game.
No, it isn't.
But they put it out at $60, and then next thing you know, it's $40. Then it's in a service. They got to see how they got to test the market. They're all going to test the market at 70. Going forward, 70 is going to be the new price of doing business. And then next thing you know, the games will be on sale just like normal. But I know why Ubisoft is doing what they're doing. The mouse got to eat. That's it.
So like I was telling you earlier, TJ, about the whole culture thing. Like, for example, here in my country, for them, a gaming system is a PlayStation, a gaming system is a Nintendo. So, and they're not even fans.
I love that one.
They're not even fans like all these fanboys out here that you see throwing up stuff and saying like, oh yeah, we got the best things here. No, they just find it as a game system. They're like, okay,
you have different features in different games, but you're not the best. That's what they have to understand.
No, but what I'm telling you, TJ, is how here at the gaming culture in Dominican, how it is that okay, we got the fans, right? There's some of the other fans that like to throw stuff in your face, but then you got the common people that think that the only gaming system out there is PlayStation and Nintendo. That's it. There's people that just like to game, just being a gamer, not a fan, not one of those crazy fans out there like to throw things in the face. For them, just the game system is a PlayStation. That's what's happening here, right? So in order for that to work, is the company has to come and do the marketing. So
I like what Lou said. I like what you said, Lou. And you want to know something, y'all? Lou just made me think of something. Realist and Drawn, TJ, and Chit Chat.
Yep.
None of the stuff that anybody's saying matters anymore.
Exactly.
You know where I'm about to go with this?
Watch this. Company's not even listening to us.
Watch this, Chit Chat. It doesn't matter if you're a fanboy, right? You're not nobody special. It doesn't matter if you're just neutral.
They're not your friends.
You're not nobody better. Business. It doesn't matter if you're ignorant and all I do is play video games. You're nobody special. You're not special because you're a diehard, right? Or a professional gamer.
Nope.
Let me see. The industry has not been doing very well. So despite what you may think you are as a gamer, right? You ain't improved shit. So all the name call and all the statuses, all the acolytes that you want to put yourself on, it means nothing if you're not really out here buying and playing these games when they come out. Don't be one of these people, oh, I'm a gamer on all the consoles and I play all the games. Well, that might be true. But you're one of these dudes that don't buy these games face value. You're waiting around till everything goes on sale. Guess what you're doing for the industry? Jack shit.
Exactly.
You're not helping anything. So let's just get that on out the way. That's why nothing anybody ever says to me, it doesn't do anything to me. Bro, listen. I know, like I take this page from Realist because he's got some phenomenal sayings. And here's one that I always love. I know why I'm an Xbox gamer. Do you know that? Do you know why you're an Xbox gamer? That's something you have to ask yourself. So since I know why I am, nobody can get me out of my circle. I'm in the center of the ring. You know, I'm shadow boxing. I'm doing my thing. You can't get me off of focus. There's certain things that I like about Xbox that I just like about Xbox. And it's because I know what the other companies offer. It ain't because I'm a blind wildebeest. It's because I know what they offer. I'm a smart consumer. I lay everything out on the table and I say, this makes sense. This makes sense. And that don't make sense. So I'm the one buying these things, right? Nobody else is buying this stuff for me. So when I buy what I buy what I buy. The problem with social media is you got these what they call them insecure gamers, right? Even the insecure gamers are not doing anything for the industry. But you got these insecure gamers. Anytime you mention a platform outside of their preferred platform, they got to come on your post and tell you something. They got to give you their feelings. And that's the comical side about all of this. No matter what you think you are as a gamer, you're not doing anything. We're not doing anything as a whole until we really practice what we preach. Now I'm ready to get to what Dia was saying. Right, where is it? Right here. Because this right here, girl, has been cracking me up for the longest. Now, of course, you know that Smitty Smith, the creator of the Book of X, he's got the library, and there's only one book in there. It's called the Book of X. But I graciously asked him and humbly asked him, could he reprint one for me? And he did. He did. So I'm forever in debt that Smitty Smith printed out a second edition of the Book of X, and I'm the only one that has it. Nobody else has this. It's only me and him, right? And Dia, in the Book of X, right, it tells me myths, narratives, and truths, right? The most funniest thing that I've had to debunk recently is this weirdo thinking that, and Lou knows where I'm going with this super weirdo thinking that consoles are dying. And consoles are dying and everything is going towards PC. But if you do your research, right? If you have any ounce of brain cells that you use when you're typing to say something stupid to somebody on social media, those same fingers that you leave your fingerprints on when you're texting or typing or whatever you're doing to get your words across, use those same things to go on the internet and do some research. And it's not hard to find out that consoles are the hottest things out in the gaming market, superseding, right? When we're talking about percentages, superseding mobile and PC. The only reason why mobile, it doesn't matter with mobile, because mobile is just too big. It doesn't matter what it does. But consoles usually be third place. So what happened? What happened is what we console gamers have been saying all these years. Now listen, before people get all sensitive, we always have to do this disclaimer. We got to get out of this in the gaming streets with all this sensitivity stuff going on. We're too grown for this, people. But we do this to make everybody feel good because we know, right, gamers, right, my gamer friends, all of this is about emotions and feelings, right? So now that we're gonna do that, we don't want to make anybody that plays on PC feel like they're less or anything or something's going on. That's not what I'm saying here, right? I have a PC. I don't use it for gaming, but I can use it for cloud gaming. But I can use it for gaming. Now, we know that consoles, we're going to say this one more damn time. What makes consoles so attractive to just the common gamer? When I mean common gamer, I'm just talking about the guy that just likes to play video games, right? And he has choices to make. The reason why console games are at an all-time high is because of their convenience, easy accessibility. I don't know how many times we've been telling people this shit. You turn that bitch on, and it's on. You plug it into your TV, turn that bitch, it's on. There ain't no configurations. I ain't got to worry about my damn drivers or if I got updates. I ain't got to worry about the damn web. And if I'm going to turn the damn console on, play your game, grab your controller, and you're playing your game. So what consoles sell the best out of anything is its accessibility to easiness. You get home from a long day's work, you cut that bad boy on, you kick back, and you ain't up on your damn screen 2 feet away with your eyeballs and you're glued to the center. Bro, I can kick back 10, 15, 20 feet back, get in a recliner or a gaming chair, kick it back, and relax and just kick it on a big screen TV, right? So, dear, this is for you. Because I love it when people actually bring up real topics that they see going on. And this was actually what I was going to bring up today. So, I got something for you. Finish. No doubt. To kill this whole thing, dear, I'm going to kill it. You know I love to do this. I'm going to take the whole air out. We're taking the air out of the room, people. See, we take honor, and we're happy, and we're glad to do this. We're glad to ruin people who spread false rumors or narratives or myths, right, and theories. We love that because we got the Book of X here on Di-RRec Game. So don't listen to legal, right? Don't take my word for it. Don't take Realist or Diaz or TJ's or my man Crazy Lou's word for it, or even anybody in the chit chat community, from Six Slayer all the way down to my man Giovanni R. Don't take none of us. Don't even go to Jamaica where my man Bonty Man is at. Don't take his word for it. But guess whose word we can take for it? Mr. Xbox himself. So let's just listen to what Mr. Xbox himself has to say. This was this year, by the way, 2nd month. Okay, we just got out of the third. We just got out of the 3rd month. We're into the 4th month. So this hasn't been that long ago, people. Okay. If y'all been paying attention, because obviously, dear, we know that people are not paying attention. So therefore, they're either not paying attention, which we would like for them to be, because ignorance is not bliss in gaming industry. But if you're just being downright stupid, then that's a choice, and that's not really smart, right? Stupid people. Why would you choose to be dumb, right? Don't choose to be dumb. Have a little integrity about yourself. Phil Spencer reportedly tells Microsoft colleagues, okay? So what does that mean? That Phil Spencer, inside house, is going around letting Microsoft colleagues know, because they're looking at everybody talking too, right? If you're working for a company, you see all this talking going on, you want some clarification. We see this future going in with Xbox, and it's going to be a very big deal, right? So Phil says to the colleagues that Xbox is not done making consoles. What? Let's rewind that. Okay. Phil Spencer reportedly tells Microsoft colleagues that Xbox is not done making consoles ahead of upcoming business strategy update. Xbox consoles, right, will apparently remain crucial going forward. So what the hell is everybody talking about when they talk about, first of all, consoles are dying and everybody's migrating to PC? When you look at the damn pie, right, and you notice that PC used to be at 52 something, 53, even 55%, a little bit higher than that. It ain't never been 60%, but it was up there. There was a time where PC gaming was up there. Now it's dropped down under 30%. And it's not because PC gaming is garbage, people. It's because of the convenience of the pocketbook. PC has an integrity about itself. And the integrity of PC is bragging rights. You ain't got to like it, but that's true because, damn it, if I paid $2,500 to $3,000 to play video games, guess what I'm going to do, Lou? I'm going to be bragging about it. Now, understand the culture. Understand the culture, man. They don't bother me. PC gamers don't bother me, right? Because I know why I'm an Xbox fan. Now, real quick, Lou, watch this. Watch this. Microsoft told us the next console is going to be what? A generational leap. Future generations, my man. A generational leap means it ain't going to be an upgrade. I talked to Lou about this today. What do you mean, legal? What do you mean? Okay, let me tell you something. RDNA 2, right? There was tiers, right? Low end, mid, and high, right? Xbox fell in somewhere around the high end mid. That's where that Series X was created based on. Compared to a 2070 or 2080 graphics card, right? That was a mid-tier, high-end graphic card, right? It's still a part of that generation. Those are just upgrades. Now, as the years go by, right, realists, we see an actual next generational thing that occurred. But it didn't occur in consoles. It occurred in a handheld. And that first one was the ROG Ally. It was a Zen 3. Now, what's Zen? That's the CPU side of things. But before the Zen 3, everything was running on the Zen 2, right? So that was a generation leap. Zen 3 is here. Now, look, we can't. So if Zen 3 is here, that's established. Now, when you talk about a generational leap, you're talking about the one that happens in the near future and beyond. So what happens is when you see, if there is, I'm going to use this. If you see something that says RDNA 3, that's a generation, right? If you see RDNA 4, that's a generational leap. The generational leap that's about to happen, even PC owners don't even know. Because what Microsoft are masters of, they're masters of PC talk. They're masters of PC knowledge, and they understand Moore's law to the T. They already know what the next situations are going to happen because they were working with AMD and they shook their heads to it. Think about that, Lou. They saw what AMD was going to bring to the table, and it was like, nah. You see that, Lou? Nah. Realists, they saw it. Sean DJ and Chit Chat, and Microsoft said, nah, not for what we want to do. So we're going to go around and look around. They bumped heads. Lo and behold, they saw some things that NVIDIA was doing. They saw some things Intel was doing. And the decisive matter was that Intel told them, listen, we're in dire need of a shell. We're out here as ghosts running around with all this technology, and we need a body. We need a body so bad because we've been out of the game with our cockiness, Microsoft. There's a new leader aboard, and he came to Microsoft and said, listen, come into my lab. I want to show you that we are already ahead of everybody by 8 years. Microsoft said, what? You heard me, 8 years. Come in this lab, and I want to show you the real future. They went in there, and them bad boys saw that AI. They saw all of that stuff. And they said, man, we got AI going on too, but so what are you saying? Listen, man, ain't nobody doing this better than us than TSMC. That's Taiwan, y'all. The kings of the semiconductors. Intel said, we ain't aiming to beat them. We just want to be in second place. We want to be in that second place foundry of N tier and X tier, and we want to do some major things. We want to do something big in this country and be number one in the United States. Microsoft, we're looking at you because you're the big tech of the United States. If we come together, we can do some great things, but we need a body. And we're looking at your Xbox because why, Microsoft? We've been there with you before. And you remember your OG? Remember how that bad boy was working? Imagine what we do now. With your vision and our vision put together, there's nobody stopping us. We're the baddest things on the block. Microsoft said, we hear you talking, but we shopping around. Intel's like, well, you can shop around, but you'll never see anything like this. So what you saying? I'm saying, listen, if you take care of us, we give you this chip. You got all the power. Now, why was that something that was necessary to say to Microsoft? Because now Microsoft's motto is power your what? Dreams. Mm-hmm. Dreams are things that you put out there that you ain't reaching yet, but you know that it can possibly reach to, right? But Microsoft knows that if we can grab our dreams and make it reality, nobody's stopping us. Intel knows that. Every big tech knows this about Microsoft. You give Microsoft their dreams and they can grab it, you're in trouble. Intel said, we're in trouble. We're not big enough to know that we need you. But if you consider us, this chip will become unlimited to you. Do whatever you want to do. That's why Microsoft paid the $15 billion for it. Now, Microsoft told everybody, don't expect to be in the next. We're not in the next generation. We're a leap above it. So what does that say to everybody here? That whatever the PlayStation 6 gets, which we already know, the cat's out the bag and that bad boy, they're getting AMD. They're getting the next AMD. They're not even going to be right.
So what you're saying is they're getting left behind?
They're not just left behind, Drawn TJ. They're in another solar system. You hear me? They're not even going to be able to do what Microsoft is going to be able to do. You hear what I'm saying, Drawn? You know what's been holding. You want to know what's been holding Microsoft back?
It's the CPUs.
No, not just that. I'm talking about in order to get people onto your brand, right? Bad press, a lot of haters, a bunch of lies, a bunch of myths and theories. But you want to know how you destroy all of that? It's simple, people. You make the best damn product that everybody can see with their eyes. See, your eyes don't deceive you. Okay, let me give you an example, Drawn TJ.
Yep.
If I rolled up in a Bentley, right?
Yeah.
I pulled that Bentley up in your driveway. Lou knows exactly what Lou about to laugh. And then I say, hold on, Drawn TJ, I'll be right back. And I go and I pull up in your driveway a Honda Civic. Okay.
Yeah.
And they're both clean. They're both brand new. Nothing's wrong with them. They're both nice looking, right? And I pop the hood open. Drawn TJ.
Yeah.
I pop hoods open. You're like, what? I pop trunks open. Are you getting what I'm coming from? I pop hoods and trunks open. Your eyes don't deceive you.
That's
Drawn
true.
TJ. If I went and got an F-22 and I landed in your backyard and I went and got a little small passenger plane and landed in your backyard, your eyes don't deceive you. One. There you go. Yeah. Your eyes don't deceive you. So see, there comes a way of how you just destroy the whole thing if this is a good product or not.
Yep.
You see, Microsoft knows that if we make something close, Lou, realist, that's been the problem. AMD, everybody gets AMD, and we make these consoles, and Xbox can put all this power in this console. But guess what happens, like Realist says? But when these third-party games come out, they all look the damn same.
Yeah, that's theory, true. Realist. They all do.
Right, here's our theory, Realist. Oh, well, we just got to wait for them first-party Xbox games to come out from Microsoft Studios, and then we're going to know the difference. You don't think Microsoft?
Well, that's pretty sad that we have to rely on that.
That's sad because we knew as Xbox fans, Microsoft didn't have those studios like that. So
they had 5 studios.
5 years. You're talking 4 years that we got a brand. Microsoft said no more of that, right? We're going to buy these studios up. We're going to generational leap everything. And guess what, Lou? Their eyes won't deceive them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Realist, Realists, they don't like truth, bro. They think direct gaming is a game. They think this is funny, right? They think we just up here, right? But guess what, realists? We ain't been wrong yet. That's the problem.
Nope.
The problem is I ain't been wrong yet. Because I use my common sense to understand everything is against Xbox. Where does Xbox fans go? Where do we go? You get on the internet. Where do you go? Where do you go to kick back and listen to your language as an Xbox fan? Where do you go? I got
to real Xbox fans.
Right. That's it. You only going to go to the real Xbox fans. Now, are the real Xbox fans the majority on social media? Of course not.
Nope, that's not true. That's what I was gonna jump in. I was gonna tell you what I was gonna jump into that. Can you bring up what Dia said about that? They said that the PS fans were running where? She said they were running where?
To PC and Nintendo.
Listen,
yeah.
Listen. Let's touch that subject real quick about what a real fan is. This is what a real fan is of a brand, right? Same thing with the team, same thing with all that stuff, right? This is what a real fan does. When these whole rumors started, I even did a good morning video about this morning on my channel. I did a good morning video about this, saying that PS5 is now doom and gloom. I mean, it's over with. I even grabbed a skillet, I even turn on the furnace, had the PS5 sitting on the skillet. I even put it inside the trash because it's doom and gloom, because I remember that someone out there had a picture of an Xbox in the trash can. So I did that because I said, let me do the same thing. Let me do it because you know why? I got the cojones to do it. That's what I say. I have to do it because let's do it. Why the heck not? I'm getting hate. I don't give a crap if I get it. I mean, seriously. But this is what a real fan does. When Special Nick, back in the day, he mentioned that there was 3 games coming out. Okay, cool. That's awesome. That we're going to another console. There was rumors spreading around. Understand that. We all saw social media. The people that we support Xbox, the people that do this, they were saying, oh, no, it's doom and gloom. We saw PlayStation fans saying it's doom and gloom. We saw everybody saying it's doom and gloom. We saw people like, you know, gravity. Oh, my God, it's going to die. It's going to die. It's going to die. Yo, I was in Germany when all that stuff happened. That what's it called? The 72-hour rumor run? That's what it's called.
Yeah,
so
the 72-hour run, yeah.
Rumor run. I was in Germany when that stuff happened. I was reading all that stuff saying, okay. I just said, let me wait for the company to speak. When the company speaks, then I'll see what's happening. But out here, I ain't listening to none of these guys because, I mean, if they believe in their hearts is dying, shame on you. And I look at the ponies right now. Oh, Nintendo. Oh, PC. You know what that tells you? They were never real fans of PlayStation. They were never real fans. Because why ditch the product? I mean, wait to hear what they're doing. And you don't understand there's something. I mean, listen, I have a lot of friends that are confused. You know what they tell me? Oh, man, Xbox is killing the console. It's going to die. I mean, I'm thinking about hopping on PC. I said, listen, this is what I told them. The thing is, you're stuck with this whole console war crap. And right now you have these guys talking and they throw it in your face about, yeah, Xbox is dead. Xbox is not going anywhere. It's dead. I mean, it's all this stuff. And when you hear that from them, you're like, oh, my God, now I'm scared now because all these years I've been trying to fight them. Xbox gave up on the fight. You know what I told them? Wait a couple of days, and you're going to smack them with something way harder than that. Just give them a couple of days. You'll see. What happened a couple of days, legal? What happened a couple of days, legal? We saw what happened. We saw this beautiful article, and for me, it's a beautiful article. You know what it said? Xbox lost the console war, but it's dominating PlayStation where? In software. That's where the real money is.
Yep.
And that's what I told these guys. You got to just wait because, listen, if we're going to sit here, and this is what you guys don't understand. You guys focus on fighting 10, 20, probably 1 million people, 2 million people. Listen, there's 52 million PlayStation fanboys, plus the 120 million that probably did this, which I don't know. But if you add them all up, right? You add them all up, trust me, there's not going to be like 25 million fanboys acting like crazy like those guys do. There's not going to be. Same thing with Xbox. There's not going to be. There's not going to be. They're not going to be acting the way they do, because these guys, what they're trying to do, they feed you this idea like, oh, this is the best place to play. This is where everything is good and all this stuff. The company ain't paying them. I mean, should you believe them?
They're not sponsored.
They're not sponsored. Should you believe them? No. What you got to do is you got to sit down and do your research. You got to sit down and read, see what's happening. Like Legal said it. You got to sit down and read. When I saw that 72-hour run, I said, I'll wait till the company speaks. And once the company speaks, I'll see where it goes from then on. And when I saw it, I saw everything that they were doing. I saw the whole idea. And as a businessman, because here's the thing, though, not a lot of people understand how business works. Do I find the idea right? It's the right move. As a fanboy of Xbox, am I happy about it? Of course. I mean, I'm not going to be happy about it because I wanted to have this to go fight those PS guys over there. But at the end of the day, is it worth fighting them? No, because they're always going to look for that little excuse to hit you back. And that's what they do. They always look for that little excuse. Now, these people are here saying, oh, I'm running a PC because it runs my games better over there. Dude, let me tell you something. When we got this generation leap, this generation leap was beautiful. We got consoles that had HDMI 2.1. Me and Liga were talking about this earlier. They had HDMI 2.1, which later on, after a year, TV started coming out with HDMI 2.1. That tells you how advanced these consoles came out. Of course, along the way, like always, because you cannot upgrade these consoles unless they bring out a pro version or they bring out a series XXXXXX. I don't know. If they bring something pro out, that's the only thing you can get as an upgrade. That's the only thing you can get as an upgrade. Other than that, if you want to upgrade, what you got to do, you got to get a PC. Now, on PCs, you can upgrade. You got 3080s that came out, and now you got the big old 4090s. Right? Now we got these consoles that are a couple years behind. So I told Legal today when we were having our talks like we always do. I told him, hey, famo, out there's an article, which I found the article, and I remember this because I read it thoroughly. These consoles came out really advanced with all this tech, and you know what it says? Third-party devs are not going to take the full advantage of this technology. Why? Because it's expensive for that time and everything. So when will we probably see that 4K 60 that we all wanted to see on this generation with all the games? Because it's on the box, guys. It's on the damn box. It's 4K 60. We're going to see it.
Oh, it actually says 4K 120.
Oh, 4K 120. Okay, it says 4K 120. But listen, we were sold that if it says 4K 120, we're going to get 460 games. I mean, TJ, I was sold all the way that we were not going to have to select or performance or quality. We're just going to get 4K 60.
Too.
Done. That's the idea I was sold for. But when are we going to see that when it happens? We're going to see that next generation. Why? Because that technology is going to cost less for the developers to grab and use it on the console.
So what about first party, though? You know what I mean? Because Halo came out 4K 60.
That's another thing because for first party,
it came out 4K 120 actually, except for the VCR Xbox.
It came out for 4K 60. You had the option for 4K 120, but it was 4K.
Well, yeah, you have the option for 120, but
you had the option for
120. I think that came later, but at the end of the day, you look at what can be done, right? Because if we look at Arcane, Bethesda, they're still basically operating under third-party premise.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're recently acquired. It takes them more time. They want to go ahead and get Redfall out, but you see that 4K 60 happens on Redfall if they have the time. But I see a lot of goofy Xbox fans saying, I ain't gonna even call them Xbox fans, people who supposedly in the Xbox community.
Exactly.
So now they're questioning if Gears of War is going to come out at 60. This is crazy. Like, when have they not gone for 60?
Yeah, I know, right?
A Coalition.
Listen, Coalition bats for one every time. They're really damn good at what they do.
They've been taking their time. I mean, when was the last years? 2018, 2019? When was the last year?
It was
what's the rush?
We got 7 years in development. Why the heck
What's the rush? Hardcore Gear fans want one tomorrow, right? But
Yeah.
Halo
I say
Gears and
cook.
Forza, Halo Gears and Forza, right? It got to the point to where Phil Spencer had to had to address Halo Gears and Forza. Yeah, I hear you. We're more than Halo Gears and Forza, right? But in all honesty, they weren't much more, right? Until Sea of Thieves came out and they bought Undead, and that made State of Decay first party. Well, when
Yep.
you look at the third party does not prioritize Xbox. And I've been complaining, I've said this on the show several times. Third party is not prioritizing Xbox. It can be the user base, it can be the ease of use on PlayStation 5 because they didn't update their developer kits. Whatever the case may be, they're not prioritizing Xbox. A lot of the
so
tools,
annoying that they
a lot
don't.
a lot of the
Yeah.
tools that we've been talking about that the PlayStation fans laugh at us about. It's like, man, I don't care if y'all laugh. I got to talk about them because they do exist. They are real, and they need to be utilized. There's so many tools that aren't being utilized when it comes to Xbox, and even from their now first party, which I expect to see this from Hellblade 2. So, like when these long-term studios, because look at Forza, right? I understand it's a racing game, but it came out with 4K 60 options and ray traced options, all that stuff, all the bells and whistles.
Yep.
With the Forza games. So we also have to give some of these developers time. I know like a lot of Xbox fans, we're tired of excuses, because it's more about the console war than to have realistic expectations. Because you remember, Redfall had a PlayStation version in development that got axed, right? So it's a lot of things that are changing with these companies, and they have to adjust. In all honesty, they weren't prioritizing Xbox when they were third parties. So now they have to get to the point to where they're prioritizing Xbox, their architecture, their tools, their tool sets. They have to get acclimated and use those the way. And see, this is why Hellblade took so long. They wanted to be that game, that showcase game where we're going to use Unreal 5. We're going to use everything we can. I've seen people complain about, look, and Sick and I were going back and forth about this. I'm not really a big fan of Unreal on console because, yeah, they look good, but it's so heavy. Some of your high-end PCs can't even handle it. It's so heavy, and it's going to take years for that to be like on 4K 60, Louis. But I'm expecting first-party Xbox in any game. If you look at a lot of games that get patched, they come out with a 60 frames version later. I'm expecting the same thing from a game like Dragon's Dogma 2. A lot of times these developers, they don't know what to do with these consoles, right? They don't really know what to do on PC. The only thing on PC is you can go brute force. But they're not. Their optimization on most of these third party developers, publishers, that they're not that good, right? A lot of people are hyped for FromSoft game, but we'll take it all in stride. But then they make fun of us for taking Starfield's issues in stride. Oh yeah, well, From isn't known for their graphics and optimization. You know, as long as you like the game, it's cool. If you don't like the game, or it's a game you really don't care about, you'll start complaining and you're not even really playing the game. That's what I'm noticing from these guys. They do all these talking about games that they don't even care about. But you say 4K 60 next gen. I'm saying I'm expecting it from this gen. I think this gen doesn't have much left, maybe 2 years, because I think Xbox is ready to move on to the next phase of their domination.
No. I'm talking about not first party.
Are you talking about third party?
Yeah, third party.
I don't think that
not for this gen. I'm talking about next gen.
But I don't think that
dominate that better.
But I don't think 4K 60 is a priority for third party. I think their priority is just getting a game out in a reasonable time so that they can report those earnings to their investors.
Exactly.
I agree with Realist. I agree with Realist because they need time and they need the money. If you know what, I'll put it like this, and I'll make it very short, like in less than 20 seconds. If the third parties that make games for Xbox and PlayStation, if they were backed by like someone like Microsoft, where you got time and money and all the best engines, and you got people working with you willing to help you, their games would be running at 4K 60. No questions asked, easily. But since they don't, some people are struggling right now in the gaming industry. I mean, look at Embracer, perfect example. They just broke up. They sold a lot of their studios. A lot of people can't afford these AAA games. So you either got to do two things: either get bought or either size down and start making AA games because it just ain't working. I'm sorry, but look at the gaming landscape.
But honestly, like the whole industry moved away from gameplay into graphics. That's my problem with the industry.
I know.
Exactly.
These games need to be fun and functional first, but that's not their priorities. So
a lot of these games don't even have fun in them anymore. They're more graphics than fun.
Cinema,
it drives me nuts.
It's crazy, yeah. And that's something that's where Nintendo hits it because Nintendo keeps the fun and keeps doing what they're doing. Yeah, all these companies are spending a lot of money, and let's get this game so beautiful, let's get all this stuff. But at the end of the day, are people actually sit down and buy your game? Are you getting that investment right away?
You need to balance it.
You got to find something to make the game fun. I mean, seriously, because look, you mentioned Power World earlier. Power World, you turn it on, you jump into the game, and that's it. You start shooting, you just start grabbing. You got a little box that says build this base. Let's build this base. Put this. That's all you had to do. The game is right there.
A small game that's AA or indie, and it's destroying Call of Duty and every other game that's like $70, big graphics and everything.
There's destroying a lot of crazy, which is crazy. It's simple. It's easy.
Oh yeah.
And but you know something though. You know something that I mean. I don't want to give Nintendo too much props, you know.
Oh, I know that.
They're struggling.
Nintendo likes to retread.
Oh, no.
They're struggling. They're struggling in their sales right now. You know, even they've been struggling since last May. But a lot of people that's what I'm saying. Like we know the culture, right? We understand that when it comes to Nintendo, we brush shit under the rug. It's Nintendo. You know, we don't even consider Nintendo when we talk about major gaming and all that stuff. We just don't. Nintendo just gets that pass all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth is, Nintendo sales have been plummeting since last May. And they're okay, but they're not where they want to be. And so like
you mean the console?
Yeah, Nintendo is not like it ain't this superpower. It ain't this superpower to everybody. I just want to put that out there to the Nintendo fans out here. Because Nintendo is a superpower, and they can't fall off. Well, you're wrong. You got to get out there and you got to buy those games and whatever because here's one thing that we know Nintendo fans aren't doing. They're not paying into those services. And see, this is going to be a big transition for Nintendo fans because they're not used to buying service games. They're not used to using those services and doing all that. They don't even have achievements and all of that. It's just wrong. They're so far behind on what everybody else is doing. It's a damn shame. So it's like even Nintendo's gonna get with the times. Now Nintendo has to ask themselves when we to make this change because that's what's gonna get everybody. This big change is about to happen. Nintendo's gonna have to ask themselves, with this big change, will our fans agree with it? Now, let's be fair. A lot of the sales that are dropping due to Nintendo is because their console is at its life cycle. Let's just be for real with that. A lot of it has to do with, hey, they're about to make a new console. So that's usually normal. But they were supposed to be bringing it out this year. They decided not to. And I'm rooting for you, Nintendo, to shatter that PlayStation 2 record. I'm rooting for you. You got to give me something to talk about. Give me something to laugh about.
Now, one of the things that's actually killing them is that they raised the price of the game. They should have kept it $60. They shouldn't have raised that price. I'm sorry. But
they did that with Zelda though. Like Zelda still busted 18 million. So it's like
I know.
If you look at Mario Wonder, but check it out. Next generation, a game like Mario Wonder might be 70.
Yeah,
you know, but see, I don't knock Nintendo for their practices because if people weren't paying for it, they wouldn't do it. So somebody's paying $60 to play a game that's worth $30. Because you look at the game that came out today, if you look at the game that came out today, Zal, right? If Nintendo made that game, they'd charge you $60 for it, like they did for Metroid Dread, right? The sales of Metroid Dread have been slowed up, but they're gonna maintain their price integrity. They're gonna hold the line on that because, but their fans respond to it. Now, it'd be one thing if nobody was buying it. So that's why I never complain about Nintendo. I just won't buy their stuff. You know what I mean? I got Zelda because Zelda was $50. But if it was 70, I wasn't gonna buy it because it's just the same, pretty much the same as the first one.
Right.
We love Nintendo because we've been loving Nintendo since we were kids. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna say their games are bad, but they're not doing anything revolutionary. They still don't talk. They're not doing anything special. This is what I don't understand. A game like Immortals can't get a sequel, but then people are hyping up Zelda when, to me, Immortals was better in every way. It is what it is. But yeah, it's about time that the console slowed up. You know what I mean? I don't think they're gonna catch PlayStation, because if the new number that Jim Ryan gave out at 160 is correct, they'd have to keep selling Switches for another 2 years.
I don't believe that. I don't believe. I don't believe.
So you mean to tell me if they release a Switch 2 next year, people are still gonna be going out there to buy 10 million Switches every year?
No. What I'm telling you is that number Jim Ryan puked out. I was like, no. That's
you don't believe that? You don't believe that number? Okay.
Nah, I don't believe that number that Jim Ryan said it, because listen, let me tell you something. PS2 last development, right? I think it was 2012. That was last development. Yeah, 2013 was the last time they produced a PS2. Why all of a sudden now he comes
crazy, ain't it?
So wait, 11 years later, now it's at 160? Huh?
Yeah.
How can you do that? I mean, you already maxed out your production in 2013. Yeah. I don't believe that. I'm sorry, I just don't believe that.
Those are inflated numbers.
He inflated that number just to say it because he knows that Nintendo's catching up, you know?
Yeah, they're catching up. Yeah.
They're catching up.
He doesn't want to look bad in front of the investors. And he doesn't want to make it.
That's all it is. That's all it ever is. That's right.
He doesn't want the investors to know that, well, I mean, if they have a brain, they could just look at the damn numbers. Nintendo is eating their lunch money, and they know it. They just, they're just afraid to look at it.
So what do y'all think about these storefronts, man? What do you think about Xbox possibly getting these storefronts? I'm all for it. You know me, man. I'm
screw it.
Whatever Xbox brings to the table, I'm gonna be using it, man. I don't care if it's a Steam store. I don't care if it's an Epic store. If it's on Xbox, I'm gonna be using it.
Put them all on.
Put them all on.
Exactly. I mean, what? Because my God, I find it funny. I find it funny that everybody was like, "Oh, we're worried that if they put Steam, they put Epic on here, it's going to affect the Xbox store."
No, it won't.
Listen.
They ship their games on Steam.
listen up. If you can link the Xbox store from the Xbox to the PC one and do just a perfect link that's actually you buy the same games on the Xbox or other games you have on the Xbox, you can play on PC too. That's a win-win right there. I mean, that's a win-win. That's a win-win. For me, it's a win-win right there. Because that means I can play anywhere. Because the thing is that people don't understand is this. With Xbox, you can play anywhere you want. Steam.
You want to know what else you can play? I can play GeForce Now right on my browser on this Xbox right now if I wanted to. I can open it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna pay $20 a month for it, but I did just sign up for it.
No, that's for 4090 graphics.
I had to wait in a long queue for the free queue.
Oh,
I wanted to play No West for the Wicked. So there were 9 people in front of me. So it's like, and I don't like waiting, especially when I already have, PC. It was just that my Xbox is here on TV, so I said, let me go ahead and log in and check it out. But I wasn't gonna wait in line for it.
I was just trying to make a point to Louis' point. Like, if I can do GeForce Now on the freaking browser, what's stopping Microsoft from easily putting Steam or Epic or Apple Store or Google Play Store on here? I mean, at the end of the day, they make more money. The subscription that we get through Game Pass won't go that high because they're making money other ways. So they don't have to purposely raise it on purpose because they can make money off of other people. And at the end of the day, we get more games. I mean, if you don't want to play mobile games, don't buy them. Simple as that. That's the beauty of having choice. Mm-hmm. And Louis can even agree on that. Mm-hmm. It's choice. Microsoft's giving you choice. PlayStation's saying it's either PlayStation or PC, and that's it. Well, that's what the fanboys say. But at the end of the day, we should have choice. If we buy a product, we should be able to play it anywhere we want. If I sell you a car, Realist, can I sit there and say, oh, you can only drive it in that state you live in? You can't drive it anywhere else. You're going to say, that's BS. I paid for it. Well, sorry, I'm the one that created the rights for it, so I'm saying you can't do that. No, that's BS.
They ain't gonna fly, especially if you sell it to me.
Exactly. Yeah.
But now, hey, about this whole subject though, right? Xbox knows what people like me have been saying for the past couple of years, even before Activision came on board. When it comes to output and content, nobody is competing with Microsoft, especially once everything starts to get rolling. With Activision, it's really no contest. But what Microsoft knows that no matter what platform is out there, if it's an open playing field, right? Because in the console, they can't really put their games on PlayStation without backlash.
Come on with it, Realist.
You're killing your console if you put your games on PlayStation in that way. So it's not really an open platform. You're really trying to compete in the console space. You can't put your games on competitor platforms. Only they're doing it now, but I believe they have a chess move behind that. That's why they chose certain games. Every game is not going to PlayStation. Every game is not going to Nintendo. So it needs to be an open platform. Why are we paying $85 billion with more to come on gaming, and then we're only restricted to just our console? So you bring them to PC, which is yours, right? Which is something that they haven't been taking seriously. Because like a lot of people saying it's going to hurt the Microsoft Store. I think that's what you said, Gerard TJ. They haven't even started to support the Microsoft Store yet.
Keep going.
They're still
they need to fix the Microsoft Store on PC.
Well,
it's really bad.
Wait,
wait. I know y'all can't wait now, but I waited my turn.
Okay,
so look, you have Microsoft Store, you have Epic Store, you have GOG, you have Steam. Honestly, to me, GOG is like over there in the corner, right? Look, it sounds good. It's a great store. You get DRM free games, but it's not the same. They don't have the buying power of an Epic, neither does Steam. Once it's an open platform, then you're going to start to see the same type of things we see on console through PC. And I've been talking to some Steam people. Dia, sick. Epic is coming, and they're going to do the same thing PlayStation did. They're doing it now. I see Steam people complaining about the way Dead Island 2 launched on Steam. It's like, look, this company they've covered their bases. They want y'all on Epic, not Steam. Whether you move or not, that's on you. But they have to do their due diligence to at least try to pull you to their platform. You don't have to like it; just stay on Steam. You're going to be waiting for some games. Some games might not ever come, especially if Epic funds them. But if it's an open platform on PC, and Microsoft knows their games are on all PC platforms, not counting GOG, that there's nothing that can stop them. They're going to dominate software sales because for the longest, they didn't even support PC. So even though it was theirs, they didn't. And a lot of games that still aren't on PC. A lot of games took years to get on PC. Some games are on PC first, which are the PC-centric games. But Microsoft is going to hit. I've been saying this since Activision was purchased. Microsoft is going to hit PlayStation where it hurts. In time, that 12% that Epic Games and Microsoft already said they're down for.
That 12% is on JyzalGaming Gaming now. You guys are learning something that y'all didn't even think about. Keep going, Willis.
If they start to get 12%, they start to have bigger platforms, or just the games that people just can't say, okay, I don't want to play them. Because people's like, oh, they had to come to Steam. Man, Diablo sold over 10 million copies without Steam. They're treating Steam the way PlayStation tried to treat the PC community by releasing their games way later, right? But it's not hurting them. I don't see PlayStation selling games over 10 million, unless it's a couple titles, Spider-Man and God of War, over 10 million without the assistance of any other company, especially at full price. So once the 12%, once they're able to get 12%, where do you think the developer's going to want to go? Right? Microsoft said they're down for it. Epic Game Store says they're down for it. But see, Steam would be the last one to do it because that's their lifeblood. Without being a storefront, without storefront profits, Steam is what are they? Same thing with PlayStation. PlayStation sells the most consoles. They can't sell their own software or enough of it, right? So their biggest moneymaker is just existing as a storefront.
Mhm.
And another thing, people that are hyped about Xbox games going to PlayStation, I must say this will be real short. Now I shut up. If Xbox dominates your platform with those types of games, and PlayStation becomes complacent and happy to just collect that storefront money, how do you think that's going to fare for you as a PlayStation owner that's there for so-called Sony exclusives and first-party titles? They're going to be less inclined to do that if they can just sit back and collect third-party money. So you shouldn't be cheering. You should hope that Xbox doesn't dominate. But all this time they've been talking about Sea of Thieves and all these games that nobody wants to play, and they're lined up to play them. So we started off the show with that. These dudes are full of crap. But Microsoft wants to be in an open playing field, and once they get it to PC and everybody has got the same games, then the content will be the only thing to speak and not brand loyalties to a console.
Wait, what was it again? That you think the content is going to be just the PC, not to the console?
What'd you say?
Oh, I'm saying repeating what you said because
what I said, if everything's even, which it would be on PC, everybody just has content. Then the content speaks, the content sells, and nobody can be loyal to any console to stop the money on the software.
But here's the thing, though, realist, and this is what's happening because we're looking at it as the ones who are loyal to the console. That's not everybody. There's only a few people that are actually 100% loyal. And there's people right now that are actually going out there and exploring more stuff. And that's the thing, though, because nowadays, like I said, the old school guys, because when you see these console wars, people like, for example, like we saw on Twitter, we saw them go out there and saying, oh, I'm going to move up to PC. They're not loyal.
But they already had a PC because they didn't want to buy an Xbox, remember?
They want to buy an Xbox.
Who needs an Xbox? I have a PC. Remember?
Who needs an Xbox? I have a PC. Oh no, okay, all right.
Yeah, these people are fraudulent anyway, man. There's so many on PC, but they can't just stick to PC because it's born on PC. There's division. There's interaction on console. A lot of these dudes are on console still playing console. I mean, on PC still playing console war.
Exactly, they're still playing console for nothing because at the end of the day, if you got a PC, then give me a damn PC and forget about what's going on with the console stuff. Because that's what I'm saying, though. I mean, the console gaming, right? Console gaming is going to grow in its way. It's going to keep on growing because listen, if Xbox said what they're going to do, right? We're getting a handheld. If they do that, and supposedly with what we've seen, I mean, what we read, I mean, we're not 100% sure until we see it. If they link that console with PC, let's say the next Xbox has got like a Windows-based thing, and you can download your Steam and you can play your games and all that stuff. I mean, that thing is going to sell like crazy. Why will it sell like crazy? I'll tell you why.
It'll be the cheapest PC.
Exactly. Handheld, take it everywhere with a good battery life and everything. And you got Xbox Game Pass on there. You got the Xbox, and the games you have bought on your Xbox everything from the Xbox comes to that handheld and you can play it on your PC. All you got to do is open up that thing and just play it on your PC too. All those games you bought, third-party games and everything just comes to PC. My God. I mean, that's a win-win right there for Xbox. That was a win-win for anything that has to do with Xbox right there. Because listen, if you bought your games already on the console, like I'll give you an example. If we bought Star Wars, for example, we talk about Star Wars Jedi Survivor, bought it over here, right? But in order for me to play on the PC, I got to buy it on Steam, I got to buy it on Epic, or I got to buy it on the Xbox store. But since I bought it over here, and I want to play it on PC, I just got to log in my Xbox thing, just turn it on, just go forward. Man, that's a win-win for Xbox that they actually can do it. And that's something I'm hoping it happens and it goes that way. Now, any other store can come because, listen, it's like how I was telling people. Right now with PC, it's simple. You grab a controller, All you got to do is connect to the PC, and you can play all these games with the controller. Right now, it auto adjusts. Before you had to sit down back in the day. You got to map the controller. Okay, I want this key to do this. I want this button to do this. Put this key right here. You had to map that SOB. That was a big headache. That's why I wasn't a big PC gamer, because I like to play with my controller. But nowadays, man, all I gotta do is tap that Bluetooth. Whoop, I'm right there playing with my controller. If you see me on my if you see me playing on the PC, I'm using the controller. I'm not using the mouse. I'm basically controlling, unless if it's an RTS game, which is different. But with games like you have to shoot and everything, I'm using my controller. Or games like, for example, I beat the Evil Within. I did a video on YouTube playing Evil Within here on the PC. I was using my controller. And that's how
we becoming dinosaurs on that too, man. These kids don't like controllers.
Oh, I know.
It's really bad.
But if you bring that handheld, because this is why, because I've mentioned this before, Nintendo didn't go up in there with the graphics, but Nintendo in hardware, they made a baby. That baby they made with that Switch, it's crazy. I mean, they all started with this thing. This is why you're seeing handhelds being sold like crazy. Now the thing is, if Xbox puts a handheld out there for a very good price, that's got the best qualities of any handheld you want, it's going to compete with all the rest of the handhelds like crazy. And trust me, people are going to buy that. People are going to buy that. They're going to freaking enjoy it. And if it's dockable, it's going to be an ass kicker too. Because that's another thing. I mean, I know all the other handhelds are dockable, but if they make it dockable and everything, it's going to kick butt. And then what they do is they have a big console with all the power for all those guys that like to console on the big console. And trust me, that happens. I'm getting my handheld. I'm getting my big console, and man, I'm gonna be happy as hell because with my handheld, I can go everywhere and play anything.
How powerful do you think they can actually make the handheld, though?
That's where I have to figure out, man. I don't know how powerful.
I got an idea. I would say probably 1080p 60 on the go, and then when you dock it does 1440p 60.
Yeah. Because honestly, you don't need 1080 on these little screens. Right. If you look at even the Switch, it don't run 1080.
I think they'll sell it for $400. They'll sell it for $450 for the handheld, and the next gen console that they make, I think it'll probably be $600. It'll probably be $100 more because they're going to put a lot of beefy stuff into it and AI and Windows. Because I think Louis is right. I think they're going to put Steam on Xbox, so you could just buy it on Steam if you want. And either way, you could go from a PC to your Xbox if you own both in the house, whether your wife's using the PC and you're using the Xbox. Either way, you have Steam regardless, and you don't have to double dip. And then you got Game Pass, which they're really banking on. So at the end of the day, that's their bread and butter. So if you got the smallest PC in the world at an affordable price of $600, and it does games at 4K 60, I don't know, but that's pretty enticing for a beginner PC player. And then let's say they make it where you can upgrade it. Well, actually, no, they could, but yet again, they won't even have to. They could just do software updates. I mean, like I said before on this podcast, I've said we never asked for super resolution. We never asked for FPS boost. We never asked for quick resume. We got those in updates, by the way. We never got them with the new console. We got them in updates. They came right after, like literally a week after, but we got them as updates. HDR10 Plus, do you guys remember that? That didn't come with the console, and it works on backwards compatible games. That was an update. So don't tell me these features can't be just updated, especially if they make it like a Windows PC. Oh, I bet you it's going to be interesting. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anymore because I don't want to ramble on, but I know we're all excited for it. It's going to be crazy. Next gen is going to really Sony better get their heads on straight. Otherwise, they're screwed.
Sony going to get their heads on straight because they don't have a choice. Like everything that Microsoft's been saying, they make fun of Phil Spencer when he talks about, we're not worried about consoles. Consoles this, consoles that. And then after time passes, we start to see that maybe they hired this dude for a reason. Maybe he does have access to next level stats that we don't. Because you look at PlayStation selling all these consoles and they can't sell their games. See, this is why I don't think Jim Ryan was fired. You know what I mean? When he came in, he basically called out the things that they were doing wrong, right? Console is not enough. You remember that? Console is not enough. We're making these great games and we can't sell enough of them. He's just been going around the bush. The only reason why PlayStation isn't day and date is because they don't have the manpower and the time. They were already taking 7 years just to put a game out for PlayStation, right? What did Jim Ryan do that was so bad? He made the company more money than they made before. So look, you don't have to like it. I'm just saying these are facts. You can't dispute these things. He made the company more money. He said that they need more live service games. They do need more live service games. The new leadership comes in and says that these games cost too much. Right? These games cost too much. You guys, you know how to make games. You don't know how to make money. Cancels these games. Now Jim Ryan looks bad and it looks like he's getting fired. I don't think he got fired, man. They made the man cookies. He knows that PlayStation is in it. Look, he also said that I can't remember his name. One of the old leadership told him, man, you need to fix this broken business model. Fix your broken business model is what he said.
Sean Layden, I think, wasn't it?
No, he was an Asian guy. He said something, son. One of the Japanese guys.
So, Hiroki Totoki?
Seamus Blackley?
Or Yoshida?
No, he's Japanese. He called him something. He called him something, son. Nah, I know Yoshida. He's older than them. He's older. He's probably older than Jim Ryan.
What he say?
You need to fix your broken business model.
Well, because here's the thing, though, right? You just think they don't have the manpower.
I remember that, really speaking facts. Go ahead, Lou.
Because here's the thing, though, with Sony, and me and Lego talked about this several times with everything. When it comes to technology, they stick to what they have, and they don't switch it. They're afraid to do a switch. They're afraid to do advancements, right? Microsoft, when it comes to technology, we know what they do because they're out there. They're showing us, like, for example, we saw that Microsoft was putting games day and day on PC since when? 2014? We saw all that stuff that's going on. 2014. We saw them that they were putting it that Play Anywhere and all that stuff from then. Now what happened was Sony saw this, but look how many years it took for Sony to saw this. It took them in 2020. They said, okay, let's deliver this game first. Then let's take this other game and deliver this other game over there. Then let's do this, let's do that. But guess what? Your games are starting to cost more money than anything to make. Because this is why I say the best thing that happened for us podcasters, not only podcasters, right? For the gaming community and everything, is to see beyond stuff we didn't understand. Like, for example, that whole Activision Blizz thing opened up so many things. When you have a CEO, sorry about that, of a company, go out there and say this. Call of Duty is what helps us make our games. We were like, whoa, yikes. What? I mean, that's a smack right in the face. That's a smack right in the face. I mean, what are you saying there? I mean, but wait, all these years you guys have been telling us that your games are the best games out there, but you need this one little game to give us the money to make all these games? What the hell's going on?
But Lloyd, just like 4K, 8K on the box, all they needed to be true is once. The same can be said about any third-party game. It's profit, and they use those profits to make other games and pay other studios off for things that make doing business as Xbox more difficult.
So here's now you mentioned, like, Jim Ryan, he came in there trying to fix things. This is where Jim Ryan messed up. Where Jim Ryan messed up was that he took the teams that were there that are just something and tried to introduce something new instead of grabbing small sections of the team and say, okay, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's bring this over here. Why don't you work on the service game? Take your time. Let me bring up, like, for example, they bought Bungie, right? They bought Bungie to help out with the service game, which was a big mess because Bungie's got Destiny on the head, right? So they got all this team just working on this. And like how TJ said it earlier, they wasted a lot of money, resources, and time on that stuff. Now, this generation became a big mess for PlayStation on the first party side of things. Now, with the third party, they're doing great because all they're doing is, okay, let me check. Okay, good. Okay, that's awesome. Keep going. But with the first party titles, they're right now stuck. They're trying to organize this, strategize, let's change this. What are we going to do? And that's where Jim Ryan messed up, because he took teams, took down studios. He said, no more this, out with you. We don't want Sony Japan Studios. For example, right now, we're in a generation where remakes are kicking butt, right? This game, for example, Legend of Dragoon, one of my favorite PlayStation games. It was made by Sony Japan Studios. One of my favorite PlayStation games. It would have been a perfect time to bring it back to this date. Even though back then it wasn't as popular, but I know that game would have been more popular because they had dragons, they had it's such a beautiful game. I played the heck out of that game. It would have been perfect for them to bring it back. So with him shutting down studios, focusing, for example, another one, because this is where I started to get confused on stuff. What's this game called with the zombies? I keep forgetting.
Days Gone.
The Last of Us.
Days Gone, right? Days Gone sold 10 million copies, and the guys from Days Gone developers had an idea to make the next game co-op. They said no. I'll say, wait, but didn't that game sell 10 million? Why don't you guys want to do a part 2? They said no right away, and they, like I said,
that was a huge mistake.
And that was a huge mistake. I mean, can you imagine a fun, especially that game? I played it. It's fun. Imagine if it would have been co-op, it would have been freaking fantastic. Running around shooting zombies, perfect. It's a fun game. Open world shooting zombies, that's not fun. They said no right away off the bat. And the guy came out and said, if you want a part 2, just buy the fucking game at $60. That's what he said.
You talking about Garvin. He said, buy the fucking game day one.
Day one, yeah, $60 for the game. Exactly. I was saying, though, all this stuff happened under Jim Ryan's hand, right? And another thing that also happened is that he said, we're going to focus only to make next generation games, only to focus on the PS5, to make the games only for PS5. I was like, man, that's the big. So you got 120 million people out there and just going to focus on this one console? You nuts. So like I said, he kept on switching those games. He just kept on switching those stupid ass ideas that I was like, dude, what are you doing? So you're talking about console sales. Why is PlayStation so popular? Because Sean Layden, after that PlayStation 3 disaster, made the console popular again. He made it really popular that it sold 120 million.
It was always popular though, Louis.
Yeah, it was popular, but in order for it to be popular again, they had to lower the budget on the PS3 to get the people to come buy it. And not only that,
the thing is a lot.
What?
Go ahead. I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead.
And not only that, because this is where PlayStation is pretty smart with this, right? When the generation closed, I remember this number exactly. I remember that Xbox was second, PlayStation was third, and Nintendo Wii was one when the generation closed. Now, what did PlayStation do? They continued making PS3s until they passed the
Xbox 360.
When they passed the Xbox 360, they said, okay, that's it, we're done. Let's focus on PS4. They're not stupid. They did
they're still selling PlayStation 4s right now. That's just what they do.
That's what they do because they want to bring the number up.
But the reason why I say it was always popular, Lilo and I, we talked about this. I think we did a one-on-one show.
Yeah.
When PlayStation came out, Nintendo was at a low point. Sega was at a low point. Then here comes PlayStation with the most money, right? Big bank, take little bank. They buying everything. They're influencing everything through their CD, right? Nintendo doesn't want to move to CD, not through Sony, right? So then you got the PlayStation 2. The PlayStation 1 came in dominated because gaming was at a low point. PlayStation 2 had a DVD player. Majority of people, I ain't gonna say majority of people, a whole lot of people bought the console because it was a DVD player. DVD player, you got the Matrix, right?
Yep, it came bundled with that.
Things like that. PlayStation 3 comes along. The only reason why people didn't buy it is because they priced themselves out of the market.
Jesus Christ,
right? Yeah. And when they lowered the price, all people did was just go ahead and buy it when they already wanted to buy it. But the thing that Legal brought up is that they've never recovered those lost consumers that they had from the PlayStation 1. The more that they tag on to, oh no, the PlayStation 2 really sold 160 million. Okay. You sold 100, you sold 115, 118, however many they sold. You still have lost whatever that is, 40 million. Still lost 40 million, 38 million customers that you haven't
Not just
recovered.
that, but they also
So
people bought it for DVDs, like the Blu-rays.
we're talking about the PlayStation 3 now.
No,
But see,
two.
Yeah,
because
the PlayStation 3.
because the PlayStation, because he said Blu-ray, but see, the 360 had that too. But the thing
Well,
was when they lowered the price, people just went back
drive.
home.
It had an HD drive, but it didn't have Blu-ray. We didn't get
It-
Blu-ray. Until
Oh yeah,
Xbox.
it had HD disc.
Later. It was HD disc, and so then later on they decided to switch to the Blu-ray drive. It was
Yeah.
way
Well, no,
later on.
but okay.
mailed
What
out
happened
some-
was it was a Blu-ray versus HD sell-off.
Yeah,
Whoever sold the most has become the standard, and Blu-ray won.
Yeah.
And Microsoft was a part of the HD. I think that was Philips because it was always Philips and Sony. But then you still look at PlayStation 4. They never recovered. People like to say that Xbox is dying. Xbox is this. Xbox had like 22 million the first generation. Second generation, they had 83. Then they had 60. So they lost 20 million customers, right? But where'd those customers go? Because
Red
they
Ring
didn't
of
go.
Death really
Real
killed them.
quick. No, it didn't. Because they still came in second, right?
I
They
know.
still and they still were the lead platform for that generation. Xbox 360 won that generation, no matter what PlayStation did, because they were the lead platform. If Xbox supposedly comes back and they sell 70 million, PlayStation 60 million, PlayStation is the lead platform right now, right? That's who wins the generation. That's who's making the most money. That's who's selling the most third-party software, right? But now that Xbox is buying third-party publishers, the game is changing ridiculous. So the metrics are changing. Everything is changing, but PlayStation has never recouped these customers. They didn't go buy Xboxes, right? They always were buying Nintendo Game Boys, right? Because the only thing with the Switch is it's a Game Boy and a console. All they did was combine the two. Because if you combine the two, Nintendo really want every console generation if you're going to combine their handheld and their consoles together. So now you have the Switch that's basically their Game Boy consumer base that always carried them, and you could make it a console. But even with these combined, you got PlayStation at 120. We'll give them 120. We got Nintendo at 100 and what 40. That's 260 plus Xbox's 60. That's 310. Like where are these gamers going? Because the console isn't growing. And Phil Spencer's been saying this whole time. And they make fun of him. Oh, you're just giving up. You like your guys out there in the DR. They're just giving up. No, they're looking at the numbers and trying to figure out how can they make everything work for them. They're not gonna make these people who just buy PlayStation out of habit and don't even play games. Let's be honest. These people are playing casual games. They're playing your Madden, your 2K, your Fortnite. Like Fortnite is number one across all platforms. Let's just get that straight. But those are the games that PlayStation gamers are playing, mostly casual games. Which is why this is why you see Starfield up on the Xbox charts. Which is why you see other types of games that wouldn't be on other platform charts on Xbox charts. I've always said this: the Xbox gamer more closely resembles the PC player, a gamer that plays all games. But you see, Game Pass is supposed to be training these guys how to play games, right? You have access to all these games you've never played before, genres you've never even tried. Give them a try, which is why you see Sarah Bond come out. She says that people in Game Pass spend more money and they play more games. This is what game was supposed to be about, because back in the day, every movie had a game. Everything had it. There was a game for everything. But what were we doing? Going to Blockbuster. I don't know what y'all have in DR, but here we have
Blockbuster.
Here we have Blockbuster, and we were just playing the games that had the coolest covers, right? And if your parents wanted to spend a little money on you, they went and got you those gaming magazines where you can get some game scores, because that's how we had to acquire our game scores, through magazines. But for the most part, we were picking games based off the coolest covers.
Yep.
And we were good there, and we would just play games. I played so many trash games, but I knew my dad.
We didn't have reviews. We didn't have the internet.
But I knew my dad was basically, hey, that's your game for your 2 games for the weekend, son. You better make fun out of them.
Dick Tracy, man. Oh my God.
That game was trash. Roger Rabbit was trash too.
Dude, I remember the first time I played Midnight Club. I played that. I probably have over 900 hours into Midnight Club. Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
I played old games, but I loved them. They were fun. They had a fun factor.
TJ, that wasn't like it was back in the day, man. I'm telling you, because we're talking here, Dick Tracy.
I know, because you're older
We're
than
talking
me.
here.
Yes.
We're talking about. I'm talking.
old,
TJ, listen. When you started gaming, you had internet. TJ, you had GameSpot. You had. It was called GameSpot.
Yeah, I know. GameSpot.
No. It was called VideoGames.com when it began, and then came IGN, then came all that stuff. But we did not have that.
What about G4?
Let me say what we did. We went to the store and we were like, "Oh man, look at this cover!" And we turned the thing around. It's like, "Oh, this looks fun. Let's rent it." So
I remember G4 on TV. I remember also Spike TV also sponsoring games.
When we rented this game, we got home, put it in there. You're like, what the hell are we doing? This game is messed up. Or it was either badly glitched, or it was just too hard. It was just like a stupid game. Like, oh, this is
or it kicked our heads in. Yeah.
Oh my god, it was horrible. It was horrible. Oh
no,
my god.
I kind of miss that experience. I kind of miss it.
That's like I said, that was how it was back in the day. And that, like he said, a couple bucks to get the gaming magazine, to read some reviews, to get some stuff in.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give another example, because we had Castlevania, right? We had the first Castlevania, which we played and loved. But when Castlevania 2 came out, it was like a little bit RPG-ish, and we were like, what the hell are we doing? We go into town, we talk to some idiot, and then we got to go over here, and this is the night comes. And all of a sudden, night comes, you got to fight some people. During the day, you fought some of them, but how do we get to the castle? How do we face Dracula? It was a trick. You got to sit down in the corner, wait for you had to sit there for a while to wait for a tornado to come by, pick you up to take you to Dracula's castle. That's it. How do you know that? There wasn't any clues in the game. There was nothing. There was nothing until I remember it was Nintendo Power or something like that came out with all that information for us to know that. That's how it was. I mean, I'm telling you, back in the day, it was tough for us. Tough.
Do you remember the manuals that they used to have in the cases that actually told you the lore about the games?
Yeah.
When they actually put like actual time and actual energy into it. Like I could open up a Halo 2 like box art, and it will literally have a manual, and it tells you the synapse of like the lore of the story of Halo before you even pop the disc in. So you could actually look at that and say, okay, either I'm gonna like it, or two, if I want to right now, based off what I read, I could turn around and get a refund. Either way, you based it off that.
Well, TJ, let me tell you something. There was one thing that along the way I learned from Nintendo and Super Nintendo. There was one little logo. When I saw that in there, I said, I thought 5 or 6 times to rent that game, and it was called the LJN, man. Every time I saw those LJN things, man, I was scared. LGN made the worst games off them all. Horrible.
I don't know who that is.
Oh my god! Oh my god! They even made.
Remember, I'm only 29.
I mean, they made a game of Wolverine where he sticks out his claws, and he was dying from the claws coming out. It started to bleed.
Oh, so blood loss.
Yeah, blood loss. It was just horrible. LGN made the worst games, but that's. Like I said, that's back in the day.
Yeah,
we had our issues and all that stuff, but man,
they had to add that, bro. Otherwise, you just claw everybody. Like this is why, like, I think you don't get a Superman game.
Oh no, but it was hard. But it was hard though. The game was hard. It was actually impossible to beat unless if you had a Game Gear to beat it.
It was trash too. Just like X-Men. I played X-Men on Super Nintendo or Genesis. I can't remember, but it was not good.
The what one now? Which one?
X-Men.
Oh, X-Men. Oh, the X-Men. Oh, super. Oh, my God. I mean, I could start. Oh, those Terminator games. My God. Oh, my God. Oh, those Terminator games.
And that's why I say, like, games like Spider-Man. Like, we're like, look, it's not a bad game, but I think for the most part, people are so happy to be playing with their favorite comic book character. Because, like, the game is okay. It's not great. It's okay. But like back in the day when Batman by Sunsoft, I remember that game. When that game came, I was like, "Wow, this is Batman. This is so." And I try to play it today in retro, like, man, I don't know what I was tripping on. You know, but like a game like Street Fighter 2010, I can pick that up anytime and play it. Like the game is always fun. But Batman today, I was like, man, what was I thinking?
And this is what's funny. You're talking about old games, and this is why That's another decision that Jim Ryan didn't say about back compact. That was
why buy old games?
Who wants to play old games?
Who doesn't? I mean, I watched a meme the other day. I was laughing my ass off. I saw this guy building a PC. He's like, oh, yeah, I got my 2090. I got this big motherboard. I got this Intel chip. I got everything. And when he started the computer, was playing Super Mario Bros. I was like, what the hell?
Bro, I always tripped on people hyping up their 4090 and they go boot up something like Vampire Survivors.
Oh, man. But hey, that's fun.
Bro, I'm not saying it's not fun. All I know is the first game I boot up is not going to be a pixel game. With my new 4090.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm still on 3080.
No,
so I'm
cool. They want to see that pixel real clear in 8K. That's why they put that 4090.
I bet you there's someone in the world that's probably played Pong, the first game ever, on a 4090 just to do it, just to be the first person to do it. I bet you there is.
Why not?
But yeah, I mean, that's another mistake. Like I said, Jim Ryan has made so much mistakes. I mean, when he jumped in there,
but he made the money though.
The Sean Layden made the money. Sean Layden paid the way for him to make the money.
No matter who you want to credit, they made more money. They made the most money on the Jim Ryan's watch. We've all said that.
Not really.
We've all said that he caught an alley. Let me
Jim Ryan.
Look, like why do y'all do that? Like I'll make a quick point and then I'll shut up. Like we can say that like he caught an alley-oop, but he slammed it. So like I don't know like what y'all thinking. Like he did a good job as far as the people who really matter, and that's the investors. They don't care about us.
Oh, I know.
That's all I was gonna say.
Oh, I know your point with the investor side of things, because again, you said he pleased the investor. Now, as a gamer, right? Are we happy with what's happening? That's because we're talking on the point of a gamer, not the investor. Because if you're going to sit here and talk business, of course, on business side of things, yeah, he did what he did because he's a good businessman. I mean, I agree. He knows what he was doing with the business side of things. Now, for gaming, he was not doing a good job, and this is why things are happening. And things are happening over there at Sony, and it's freaking horrible. Because listen, when you're a CEO, right? You go out there and you say, okay, we're going to release games a year later on PC. Now you're saying we're going to release it 2 years later, 3 years later. You can't make all these crazy decisions like that. You got to stick to one and keep it there. And that's what he did. He kept on switching all these decisions. Like I said, PS5, we were just going to work on PS5 games. Okay, what happened to the 120 million out there? I mean, dude, there's a market right there in order to do the switch, especially during the pandemic. And what happened? He had to go back and tell those guys, hey, listen, make these games for PS4 because we're not making too much PS5s because we know what happened with the pandemic, right? But his ideas were just not going to work, and that's what's happened. They were just not going to work.
But see, the problem with the problem is that they made their money off of third-party games. That's the whole issue. Because when you listen to the investor calls, they say we're down because of less spending on third party live action games.
Okay.
Right. People were playing all these games more than they ever played them before. But the problem is Sony owns none of them. Xbox had the same thing. When the pandemic ended, they said less consumer spending on live service games. They all lost money. But the problem is Microsoft has a contingency plan, right? You have Game Pass. No matter what you think about it, no matter how many subscriptions you think they're supposed to have, at 35 million subscribers times at least $10, 300 million minimum that they're making every month on that game.
Mm-hmm.
So on that service. So they'll always be making money. In addition to them selling games on other on the PC platform. So they're making their money. They have ways to continue making money. PlayStation can't. And they're trying to play catch up. If you read that Insomniac leak, one of the first bullet points was our competitor, Microsoft, is better suited to deal with the future of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's a paraphrase because I don't remember it. But PlayStation is in trouble unless they adapt. The console is not going to be what makes them their money because that's 30%. And that is about to be threatened.
That's true.
That's about to be threatened. That was the whole point why I went on the little deal about the 12%. That's about to be threatened, Because
Oh yeah.
if it starts on PC right now, Epic just has Fortnite, but they're pushing their weight with that game. They're fighting Apple. They're fighting everybody, and Microsoft is on Team Epic, right? They're supporting them whenever they go against somebody. They are to me. They showed their hand when they said we're at 12%. Microsoft said we're down to do 12. Microsoft is not afraid because they know they have the content, and if they're able to get it down to 12%, that's an even more negligible amount to sell it on other platforms. Right? Yeah, I'll give you a 12% split. I mean, you take your 12%. I'm taking the lion's share of that game sale. But going back to real quick, Days Gone, that goes back to what JyzalRock and myself have been saying for so long. PlayStation hypes up the sales of these games, but they don't talk about how they got there. The problem with Days Gone, yeah, it might have hit 8 million, but they were selling that game as low as $9.99. The thing about a game like Ghost of Tsushima, that's why it takes them so long to even put it on PC. They never put that game below $29.99. They put was the director's cut in the service, but these games have to sell. They haven't been selling. They're selling all these consoles, but they're basically doing all of the heavy lifting for Activision, EA, 2K. Because guess what? All they do is sit back and make software, let you waste all your money on R&D, and then they come run your platform to the point where you can't even sell your own content. That's the dilemma. Nintendo is in its own situation because they don't make consoles strong enough to even run these games. So when people buy a Nintendo, they're buying first party. They're buying Nintendo games.
Exactly.
But PlayStation wasn't. Nintendo. I mean, even Xbox wasn't doing it at a large enough clip. But they remedied that through their service. Now, whether they drop a game or not this month, they got 35 million subscribers paying $10 to $15 a month. So they're gonna have to figure that thing out because people weren't even subscribed to PS Plus before they put games in it. Because PlayStation, look, I don't know if it's self-awareness or what. They made it to where you could play free-to-play games without having their service. Whereas Xbox, they wouldn't go down with that. They finally did, but I think that Xbox wants everybody in Game Pass opposed to playing for internet. But we'll see how that goes. But they've always said that helps subsidize the costs. And even Nintendo is in on it. And their service is so trash. Like they don't even put some of the games, some of like the old games that people actually want to play in their little retro service.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, realist. So here's something I'll say real quick that's funny about that. People say we pay for the online on Xbox, and the thing I've always told PlayStation people is the reason why we paid for it is not because they want us to. They've had better security at the end of the day. How long has someone been down for being hacked compared to like Xbox? Xbox is down for maybe 30 minutes to an hour, and PlayStation is down for days when they get hacked.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be real. And they've lost people's debit cards and actual information. That's the argument I make. Issues. That's the only reason why. Yeah.
I mean, like whether you pay for it or not, they want to pay for it. And I've never paid $60 after the first year. $40 a year is not much for me to play online. And plus, the experience always made it like an unquestionable purchase. Ever since the OG Xbox, and I was playing MechaSalt, and 9-year-olds and 9-year-olds were cursing me out back then. I never had a problem. I was broke back then too. I would find my $5 a month to play online. It was never a big issue. But to me, the whole online thing, that's an argument like, oh, you're on PC, you guys are paying for internet. It's like, man, it's so many. This is why people will say that it's a fact that PC is better. It's up to how you look at it, man. You know, because now you can emulate on your Xbox if that's one of your whole things. You know what I mean? And a lot of these games, they don't come out optimized on PC. Most of them don't. I see more people complaining about optimization. It's like, man, did they build these games on PC? I've been on PC. But when it came to frame rate and stuff like that, I never expected it. I knew I was running the toughest games. I don't know about y'all or if y'all ever were on PC. Well, I know you're young. I'm 40. So like back in the day, Arma came out. Back in the day, Crisis came out. It's like, shoot, you're lucky if the man moves. Talking about 60 frames. You know, that's where I came from. Like, people older than me said, man, I was playing on Pong. What are you people complaining about? Like, yeah, I get it, man. You appreciate gaming. And I think there's not a lot of appreciation for gaming. What I'm losing appreciation, the reason why I'm losing some appreciation for gaming is the practices. Like, we need to go back to the basics.
Exactly.
It's got to be fun first. Got to be fun first. And if you can make it pretty, make it pretty.
Yeah, make it pretty. Make us pretty.
Yeah.
And especially make them hot, because now that's the new way of marketing. Hot video game characters.
Yeah. If they're taking money from BlackRock, and it's like 3 other companies, and BlackRock just happens to be the biggest. If they're taking money from those companies, you can rest assured you're gonna have average looking characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she can be a pretty model, but she's gonna be an average looking video game model. You know, it's just the way it is, man. I'm seeing people upset about the Zal game because it's got a Sweet Baby Ink on it, but it was always going to be a little black man running around in a Metrovania.
Nope.
Well, I don't know what he is, black, Native American. I don't know what he is. It gives me like the jungle type vibe. But when we get off of here, I'm gonna buy that on and play that on the Ally. It is what it is.
All right.
Anyway,
Anyway,
guys, I appreciate it, man.
I was gonna say, let's get this down the road.
What you doing over there, man? Eating dinner?
Nah.
He's just pondering everything.
I've been waiting on Willis to close us out. He does that on purpose.
No. I was about to pull it out. It's time to go. Time to go.
Willis does it on purpose. When I do that, he'll drag a conversation on purpose on me.
Hey man, look, I'm quiet. You know, like we don't do these shows a lot. We do them, we do them often. So it's like I know everybody is like raring to get at it. Like that's why I don't like. I'm like, all right, let me just shut up. But then when I finally talk, then they start talking on me. I'm like, no, shut up.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bro.
No, you're good. Bro, we're all excited. I appreciate that from you.
Asperger's, so I gotta say that wasn't supposed to get it.
Look, real quick. It's all good. I appreciate it because look, Legal led off the show with this. We're here because we like it.
Yes,
we get super chats every now and then. We and that's why the likes and subscribes. Hey, that's good. That's good for the channel, and it's appreciated. But we're here because we love it. I know you love it. I know Louis loves it. I know Legal loves it. Anybody who he's had on the podcast, even Sensei Thoughts, I know he loves it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So like, I'm not mad at anything. I know how to shut up, and I can hold my thought. If I think I'm gonna forget, I'll text it to myself. But like when y'all sit back and let me talk,
I need to start doing that.
I'll go. You know what I'm saying? And I know he's been quiet. I said, I'm gonna keep it going until he says something.
I know it. Hey, listen, it's all good. Realist, I think you explained it very well. Listen, man, I want to give a shout out to everybody in the Chit Chat community. Thank y'all all for coming out. I appreciate it, each and every last one of y'all. We wanted to shadow drop today, man. Give a shout out to Realist, man. He hasn't been able to be on the shows as much as grinding and working hard. So I know he's seen a lot of things, and I know he's been wanting to talk, man. So it was good to have him, man, when we can get him in and let him just filter, man. He's home when he's here. His chair is right next to mine, man. It's right there. We got Crazy Lou in the building representing the Xbox International podcast. We had his brother in here. We had some of his comrades in here. The Eternal Shot Eye, Sour Blow. Y'all better recognize, man. There's some beautiful things going down upon the crowns around here.
Bro, I've been seeing Eternal Shaddai for years. I did not know that he was he had a channel and stuff.
Yeah, he does.
He has on channel.
On Fridays in Spanish.
Yes,
but I've been seeing him ever since I've been on YouTube like 5 years and watching gaming content. I see him in the Xbox chats, giving shout outs and stuff. I didn't know that he had his own podcast, a little network.
Monopolistic.
Yes, sir. and we got the one of the best supporters in the streets, Drawn TJ, man. It's always a pleasure having you on, man.
I just fun to be here, dude. You're a good host. You got a great panel. You always got good people in the chat. And I'm gonna say this: You have one of the best chats because you got people in here that actually care about you. They're not talking shade at you or me or Louie or Realist or anybody else. You don't got people turn on each other, and everybody's being respectful and everybody's actually enjoying the show.
Oh man,
yeah, man, this is an Xbox zone, bro. You don't want to get the chit chat community riled up, man.
Mhm.
They know who's who, man. We don't, like I said, man. This is an X filtered show, man. You can't come in there. That's the first line of defense. You're gonna have to go through them before you even get to us, man. We're here because of them, and they know it, man. We're here because of them. We're here to speak their language, man. We're here to talk their talk. A lot of these people, man, they don't have tubes, they don't have mics, they don't have, they on the social media tip, and it's good to know what they know, speak what they speak, so that what they think and how they feel gets felt and heard, because that's all we are, man. We're just echoing. Like my man Ray say, it's the echo chamber, right? So
I like Ray.
That's right. We're echoing.
Ray.
Yep. That's about as good as it can get. However you can define it, that's about one of the best ways you can define it. We're just echoing our community, man. The ones that see the way we see. There's plenty of room out here, right, John TJ? You wanna be silly. You want to smack yourself on camera? There's a space. There's an area for you. You want to jump up and down, take your shirt off, and pinch your nipples? There's space for you. You want to sit up there all day? Right. You want to sit up there all day and talk shit about another console? There's a space for you. You want to get on the mic and say dumb stuff and act like you know what you're talking about? There's a space for you. So there's an audience for everyone. But this show, this audience, all I'm going to say is this, man. I got people like Other Zinc that show up. I got people like Jago6 that show up. I got people
I like Jago and Zinc
that show up. Six Slayer. I got Realist. I got Drawn TJ, Crazy Lou. I got Sour Blow, Giovanni R. I got Dr. Vok in the building. I got people like Snooki Jackson and many more. Many more. It's just I'd rather with me, Mr. Kima and Dia, and she dropping in. I'd rather have 500 real Xbox fans, right, than 50,000 fake ones. All I've ever said, you can keep everybody else. Just give us the real Xbox fans, and we're happy, right, Lou? We don't care. We don't care about nothing else, man. So to all the real channels out there that's holding it down, that know they got the knowledge, that speak the truth, it's nothing but salute from the New Legal and everybody else, because it's a lot of foolishness that goes on. Now, look, man, we know that Twitter ain't a real place. It's where we be silly. It's where we, a lot of us are working anyways.
Where people vent.
Yeah, it's just somewhere we pass our time. If you're taking all of that too seriously, that's your fault. I don't take Twitter that serious. I don't take nobody that serious. There's not a post in this world that comes on Twitter that bothers me to where I'm over there on your post, venting my feelings about what you posted. It's just not that serious to me. So with that, remember to always keep it gaming, and check out Di-RRec Gaming, where the streets is in gaming and the gaming is back to the streets. Yo, I just want to say I go by the name of the New Legal, and we always repping Di-RRec Gaming no matter where you from. Shout out to everybody around the world. Shout out to the Mighty Chit Chat community. Shout out to Crazy Lou, the realest one, Drawn TJ. Hey, y'all, we out of here until next time. Peace.
Peace.
See you.
Peace out.